Hello? Hello? Hey everybody, happy Thursday! Yes, it is Thursday. The eve of Friday. Friday Eve, what are we doing here? I don't know. I'm having issues with the sim. It's like, no, you fly GA, man. Cut this stuff out. And then all is grand. Hey, Alaska 559 is here. What did that was some crack yesterday, wasn't it? I was like, yeah, come on, we'll do a raid. Oh, look, Alaska's on. Boom! Great fun. Right, lads, we're here on YouTube. I haven't done this in a while, so the usual audio-visual. It's still loading. I'm afraid to touch the button. It crashed 4 times. 4 times. Anyway, let us calm it down. Let's see how the audio visuals are. You might just give me a 5x5 or a 2 and a bit and a 3.5. I don't know where it'll end, lads. It's hard to call. So, yeah, airliner stuff. If this breaks again, it'll be explained. Right? Or I might need to buy a new PC. Wait till you hear this. Wait till you hear it. Right? So what did Murph do today? He only went and bought his present lady wife, that's the one, a bouquet of flowers, right? I know, right? Don't act like you're not impressed. Anyway, right, so I bought her the flowers. And, well, here you are, right? That's from me, because you're you. And she said, what did you do? I didn't do anything. What didn't you do? I did not do anything. I'm buying a new computer. I got away with it. No, it wasn't a kitchen. Get with that, Mark, will you? Wasn't a kitchen. Come on, Sim, and load up, will you? Jeez, we're under pressure. I'm stalling for time here. I had a busy day in work today. There's like not much left in the head, but whatever's there, well, it's yours. We'll try and, do you know what I mean? Put it out there for all to see. So airliner flights, these are very different to what we usually do. Instead of going up and across, well, these kind of have to go up, across, up again, maybe across again, even backwards. And then, you know, we have to follow some sort of oh, it's come on, Stoke, come on yourself. We have to follow a sure, look at the state of you, Julia. Huh? Look at it. Sure, it's there. It's worked. It's done a thing. Right, I need to hide this. So here we are in the Airbus A320. This is the fly-by-wire modification, which is free for the PC users. If you're on the Xbox, you can fly along too. You know, we can power up the Mac do and do the things that we need to do. So, need to do a bit of look at the stage of the shimmering. What's happening here? Oh, hello, aircraft. Yes, that's right, friends. Oh, don't crash now. Jesus, don't crash. Nice. Okay, so I'm using AIG Traffic. It's the Traffic add-on. And I've added an absolute tonnage of different airlines just to give us that. It's like a baby in the middle. Look at it's a baby Gicna, a wee Gicna minor beside Gicna major. And well, anyway, what we're going to be doing is a flight in this Airbus A320. Now, let's get the caveat out the door straight away. We have sounds. I'm not in any way proficient whatsoever when it comes to the airliners. I leave these to the dudes and dudettes who can actually fly the things. But I have been known to be able to get it airborne, follow a bit of a flight plan and land it, right? So the whole idea behind these streams, it's to get ourselves a little bit more familiar with the procedures that's required, just enough to get them airborne and you know, fly an IFR route and then eventually transition this onto some online ATC, which is super cool. It's so immersive and it's a lot of fun. So I'm not going to use ATC tonight. We'll slowly but surely transition to that stage. So I'm using kind of AI Traffic here, which looks the job. It's very fancy and nice. And yeah, we'll get to do kind of multiplayer stuff later on. So what we're going to do, here we are in our humble abode, the flight deck of the A320. And to start us, first and foremost, we're in a cold and dark setup. There's weird flickering. We're cold and dark, which means that, well, the engines are cold and the systems are dark. They're turned off. So to start up, we have our overhead panel, right? This is the first thing we need to do. And, well, we can break it down into 3 different sections, and it's kind of like a sideways S. We'll start at the bottom, we'll work away from the top down, across, up, and around that way. So just think of an S, right? Anyway, what we need to do first, we need to ensure that we have some electrical power coming into the aircraft, and then we're going to connect it to ground power. We can start the APU, but we won't do that just yet. So on all Airbus, they have the lights off, all good situation. Lights on, problem. Very straightforward and simple enough. So we're going to start with the battery switches, which are located up here. You'll see the voltmeters, the voltages. So we'll hit the battery 1 switch. That'll give us power. We can now turn on the AC bus. Battery's now on, and we can see some of the systems starting to come alive in the aircraft. Not many though. A couple of things we can do if we wanted to quickly see if we have power. Well, the radio is turned on, but also we can see that the landing gear lights are also illuminated as well. So we know we have electrical power in the aircraft. Now, because this is the fly-by-wire mod, it has the flypad, fancy little gadget here that we're just going to click and turn on. Now, before we do all of this, we're going to have a look at SimBrief. Because I'll always put my flights, or I'll always plan my flights, if you like, using SimBrief. Okay, SimBrief is free. They were acquired, if you like, by Navigraph. And Navigraph is fantastic. They give you access to all your charts and the devil knows what. That is a paid subscription to have Navigraph. It's like $10 a month or something. But SimBrief is free. And then if you wanted, you can use freeware or open source charts. The only hassle with them, they mightn't be the most up to date. However, if you go to any of the real world aeronautical institutions, the FAA, the IAA, so on and so forth, you can actually grab the charts for free, right? Really handy. So, what we're going to do, I'm up in a hoop with me chat. Oh yeah, we're over here. Right, so this is my flight plan. So I've put in, if I want to edit it, just to show you what it looks like, right? So airline is Echo India. That's Aer Lingus. Shamrock, it's known as. Our flight number is 235. That's just, I use 235 Romeo Mike. Our departure is going to be Dublin Airport, Echo India Delta Whiskey. Our arrival is going to be into Glasgow over in Scotland, Echo Golf Papa Foxtrot. I'm not going to pick an alternate airport. Usually it'll do it automatically, so you just type in EIDW and EGPF. It'll do the rest. Next up, we have to select our airframe. What are we flying here? Because it has to get the profile, the weight, the balance, and also the route, all programmed in. So I've selected the A320. Once you do that, it'll load up everything here. So it's going to tell us the flight is going to take about 1 hour 5 minutes. Departure is runway 28 left out of Dublin. Our arrival is runway 23, and it gives us some other bits and bobs here. We can, we can tell SimBrief how many passengers we want, or we leave it all on automatic. And here it says auto, everything's on auto, and then we have our AirAC cycle. That's where you get, that's where you get, your charts and also the AirAC cycles from your subscription with Navigraph, hence it being a paid service. Now, down here in the route or in the route, it's going to pick probably the most recent one. So I can see here that we're going from the Rote 1 Alpha departure. We're going to follow Rotev, and then into the Blacka, and then the Blacka 1 Golf arrival. We can choose different ones if we want. Sometimes they may not give you a SID, which is a standard instrument departure, or it may not give you a star, which again will be an instrument arrival. These are predefined waypoints that you have to follow. You know what I mean? They're like a profile that you must fly to get in and out of certain airports. So you can select different ones up here. I'm just going with this one. Next up then, it's going to show you the map of what you're doing. This is your flight plan, roughly where you're going. And all you have to do then is hit your generate the flight plan. It'll say, are you sure? And we'll say, yes. So with that said out of the way, what we can do, we can click on the flight plan page and have a look at it, right? So I want to view the PDF. Now you can print this off as well. So here's our actual flight plan, and this mimics the real world. So we can see we're going from Dublin International over to Glasgow. We're getting the real world weather, the current weather indication. There's a whole load of information on this. You don't need to know half of it. It's like you only need to know a couple of things, because this is all like, my brain is sore, I can't, what, so we don't need to worry about half of the stuff in here. Couple of things which is handy. Sometimes it'll give you a cost index. See this one here? CI18, that means cost index. That'll tell the aircraft, according to that airline or the company, kind of what the engine settings are going to be, how much thrust you're allowed to use, how much kind of socks you're allowed to give. Next up then, they'll give you some averages. So the average wind for your flight is 181 at 050. It'll also give you your average temperature, and it'll give you your average distance, or your total distance, and so on and so forth. Also your fuel flow, kilos per hour. We're going to be burning 2,600 litres. It is dear stuff. Anyway, we can have a look at our planned fuel. Fuel is important. Without it, we run out. All we need to worry about here is the block fuel. If you really want to work it out, you'll see that it actually builds in some contingencies for taxiing, delays, holes, go-arounds, or just generally acting the maggot. Oh, look at this. And you know what I mean? So they add in some more fuel for that, right? So you can see that the trip needed is 36 minutes in the air. That's 1,601 litres, right? Or gallons, whatever it is. I need to figure that one out. And that'll vary from aircraft to aircraft. It also gives you an additional 15 minutes, just in case. It'll plan fuel to get to your alternate airport, but because I haven't selected an alternate airport, we don't need to plan for it. And then it'll give you your final reserve of an additional 30 minutes. So our airtime is going to take us about 36 minutes. We have a contingency for another 15, and then we've 30 outside of all of that. We've plenty of fuel. So our block fuel for the aircraft, all we need for this flight is 3,555, which would appear as 3.5. And we'll go through all of that. Further down then, we can see, this is just where it signs off to say, yeah, you're the PIC. The next bit then is on page 2, your routing or your routing. This is the important bit. So you have your airport, the runway, and the SID, the departure. Then it has your flight plan. Then it has your star, the airport, and the runway. That little route there, that's the one you need. That's the holy McGolies, right? So I'll pop that in there for you. The rest of it then, it's up to you how much you want to go into this. It will show you the weight and balance, how many passengers you're going to have, your cargo, zero fuel weight. All of this is going to be injected into the aircraft automatically, all right? And then from down here, you can actually see the log for your flight. The log. But there's some interesting information here. Flight level is what we're looking for. And if you scroll down briefly through it, find the biggest number, which is 250. That's flight level, 250, or 25,000 feet. That's what we're going for. So we know that our maximum altitude for today's flight is at 25,000 feet. So into the little airplane we go. And what we're going to do, because with the fly-by-wire, you have like a little options menu down here, and you can go to your sim options. Is it ATSU? Oh yeah, into your ATSU page, your AOC, and you can actually put in your sim brief username or your pilot ID. Once you do that, you're connecting the fly-by-wire aircraft to SimBrief. I'm waiting to see what happens. Once that's all saved, right, and you can put in your METAR sources coming from VATsim, your ATIS is coming from VATsim, or it can be through Pilot Edge, or it could be just through, you know, Microsoft, through the sim. In EU, it's kilos. Yeah, what do I have? Pounds. I know I have. But anyway, we'll start from up here. So we can see our dashboard. Everything's blank. So I'm going to say, bring it in from SimBrief. See the little button down here? It says SimBrief, from SimBrief. Look at that. Look at the state of that. So we're going to click on that. From SimBrief, please. And if I scroll out, that's going to show me, well, we're departing from Dublin and we're going to Glasgow. And we're going to do a return. So Dublin to Glasgow, return. All right. So we can see with the weather situation currently here in Dublin, and we can see the weather situation over in Glasgow. Not too bad. It's almost no wind. 180 at 3 knots. 2 degrees, bit of rain. Or dew point, sorry, is 2 degrees. Temperature 6. So it's not too bad at all. Next up then we have a look at our dispatch, and this is going to give us information about our aircraft. We also now have the official flight plan that we were just looking at in SimBrief. It's now loaded into this tablet. This is super handy. So again, we're going to go by our block fuel, and if we can remember what we said, it was going to be 3.5 or 3.55. We tend to round it up, right? So if I have a look here, where is it now? Wind information. Maybe I passed it. I could have passed it. Hang on. Block time. Yeah, where's the block fuel? Ah, there it is. 3.55. So we're going to put in 4 just for the crack, because I like a bit. Do you know what I mean? So we're going to put in 4,000, and we're going to say refill. So that's going to start refueling. Nice. Next up, we're going to go to our ground, and we're going to say, right, we want the jetway connected. And we can call the baggage, and we can call the catering as well. We do have some calculators here if we want to figure out our top of descent and also landing. There's some sounds coming in there. This one here is for our charts. Because we're integrated with Navigraph, we can just type in Dublin International, and our departure, if you can remember from our route, SID, what did we say our route was? So it's the Rotev 1 Alpha, yeah? So we just need to find the Rotev 1 Alpha. There's the Rotev 1 Alpha. Let's have a look, and here it should be, right? This is fierce handy stuff. So here is the actual chart for this procedure. Now, there's a couple of things we need to know about this. So I'm going to bring up this screen, and let's have a look at the actual chart, right? So we'll open it up in here. This is the actual chart. This is our departure. We need to know some information of what's happening here, okay? So straight away, we need to look at anything that's kind of jumping out on the screen, okay? You don't need to worry too much about... there's a whole load of information here. We don't need this. If you want to fly it online, you just got to make sure it's the most up-to-date chart. The date is up on the top right. Jeppesen is the source of these charts when it comes to Navigraph, which is really handy, right? But we can see anyway, we can see the Dublin airport tower frequency. It has an airport elevation, which is important. Very important here is speed. We can see it's in this kind of a magenta purpley red colour. It's telling us maximum speed is 250 knots if below flight level 100. That's 10,000. Sorry, 10, 10,000. It's 10,000 feet. So if we're flying under 10,000 feet, we must keep it below 250 knots. Otherwise, the ATC would be saying, "Hey, cut it out." It's all about control. Other things we need to look at, we'll zoom in here on the airport, and we can see where we have the Rotev 6 Echo if we were departing from runway 10, or we have the Rotev 1 Alpha if we're departing from runway 28. And we can see that we must fly on a course of 278 degrees until we hit the Dublin VOR. And it's giving us an instruction down here that says fly over 3,000 feet. So we got our initial climb has to be 3,000 feet, but we have a transitional altitude at Dublin as well, which we will get from the ATIS. So the airport will tell us what the transition altitude is. It varies from airport to airport. Sometimes it changes at the airport, depends on what's happening, right? Is your brain sore yet? All we need to remember... sure, there's Berto! God almighty, many thanks for the super chat. Yo, legend. Many thanks. Cheers. Jeffrey Bennett's like, Murph, all that, he's important. It is. It's savage important, yes. But many thanks. So, as I'm saying here, we got to fly over 3,000. That's the minimum altitude, 3,000. All right. Then we can see some other bits and bobs. There's other frequencies. We can see Weston. We can see Casement. We don't need to worry about them. When we take off on a heading of 278, we will be turning right to intercept the next part, which is DW029er. Then, like, we're flying a course of 026 all the way until we get to Rotev. So that's the first thing. All right. So we can disappear here for the moment. And let me see. Anything else we need to do here? Yes. So I have VATsim connected, and just for the sheer crack, we're going to listen in because there is ATC online, right? So if I connect. Right, so I should be on VATsim. So if we pick up the ATIS.
100 feet. Broken 3,600 feet. Temperature 6, 2.2 QNH 1018. Nosig. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Charlie.
1 second now.
This is information, Charlie. At time 2000 Zulu. Expect ILS approach runway 28 left in use. Runway 28 left in use. Transition level 60, wind variable 3 knots, visibility 10 kilometers clouds. Few at 1,800 feet. Broken 3,600 feet, temperature 6, 2.2 QNH 1018, Nosig. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Charlie.
Information, Charlie. Now we can see some information here.
This is IDW information, Charlie.
Transition
level 000 Zulu.
60.
Expect ILS approach runway 28 left in use.
6,000.
Runway 28
right.
left in use. Transition level 60. Wind variable 3 knots.
Okay.
Visibility 10 kilometers clouds.
Thanks for that now,
You
Neil
at
Flower. You're very good.
1,800 feet.
So we'll say thanks to VATsim for the moment. And, well, we now know that our transition altitude is going to be 6,000 feet. So, we need power now in the aircraft. We have our batteries on. I'm going to ask for the external power. There she be. So we now have power coming into the aircraft. So first and foremost, as our systems start up, we're going to get some lights on. So we have our overhead lights, integrated lights. We also have some floor lighting. We have these panels here, turn them on so we can read them. We have some floodlights. We have more integrated lighting here. And we have a couple of switches under the dash here as well. Just to make it look all fancy, lads. Do you know what I mean? Now, where's the button for that? There it is, look. I knew it was there. I have way too much fun, yes. But sure, listen, do you know? Right, so we have lights on. Now, again, if there's a light on in the Airbus, it means there's a problem. So we're going to start doing our flows. Remember, we start at the bottom and we do this kind of a weird S. It's like, you know, do you remember you used to watch Zorro? We all watched Zorro back in the day. You know, one hand behind your back and you used to do the... But, you know, if you were like me, it turned into an S. Anyway, we're going to do our Zorro. So, first and foremost, looking up at the panel here, we're going to go to crew supply on. That's turning on the oxygen for the crew. The little oxygen tanks, they have supply there. Next up, we need to turn on our ground control. This is for our audio. So you have the main black box of the aircraft. That automatically turns on once the engines are on. Yeah, but if you're on the ground before the engines start, well, you got to click on that little gadget. And if we want to test it, all right, so it works. Nice, okay. Moving on up, don't need to worry about anything here, I don't think. Next thing we have our ADIRS, or the ADIRS. So we need to turn them on to nav mode. So we have number 1, 2, and 3 in the middle. Doesn't matter what way you turn them on, just turn them on. The aircraft needs to have, it's almost like a triangulation. Where in the world am I? That's what they do. They're the navigation systems of the aircraft that tell it where it is. It's like turning on the old Garmin in the car, do you know? But there's your ADIRS, they're called. What are they called in the Boeing? Is it IRS, I think? IRS alignment, right? Now it takes, in the real world, it could take anywhere between 8 and 12 minutes for these puppies to align. Thankfully, in the world of the simulator, we don't need to wait that long. Again, if you go down to your settings, if you click on realism, it'll tell you how long it'll take to align them. I've gone with instant. Just like my coffee in the coffee cup. Did you see what I'm telling you, lads? But anyway, so that's what I've done there, alright? So back up to our overhead, we're now coming down the road. And we're going to be blasting off out of here fairly quick, so I'm going to turn on all my fuel pumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Simple as. All the fuel pumps are turned on, alright? Now, this down here is all to do with our air conditioning, temperature in the cockpit, in the cabin, and front and back. We have engine bleeds. These are all automatic. We've ram air if we want it, and we also have APU bleed. We'll worry about all that now in a moment. Moving down, we have our lights and anti-ice, okay? Do you see the probe and the window heat? That's a function built in automatically into the aircraft. We don't need to turn it on. As soon as we get the engine started, that's already heating the windows and the probes. However, as I learned from the very talented V1 Simulations, I've been watching loads of his stuff, by the way, so if I'm wrong, I didn't listen to him correctly. But anyway, he's a real Airbus pilot. And I'm learning so much from him from this aircraft. Anyway, if you had like icing on the ground at the ramp in a cold and dark position, yeah, you got to turn on the probes and the heaters because, well, you got to get the ice off, right? But as soon as the engines start, it gets turned on automatically. So with our lights, we're going to go ahead and turn on our... Now, is this one? It's only one switch. So there are 2 modes. You have nav lights and then you have nav and logo lights. Currently on this developer build of the fly-by-wire, we just have 1 switch. All right. So moving along, don't need to worry about landing lights or nose lights. These are APU. We also have our emergency lights. We're going to arm them. And our no smoking light, we put to auto. Now, here's another thing just to really confuse us. Have you ever heard of Pack X? Where did it go? Where did it go? TFD design, you need to fix the thing. Right, we'll try Pack X again. I love using this. This is so much fun. Hey, Vinny the Gamer's here. Good to see you. I'm just waiting for the thing to load. Pax or Pack X, right? Basically, it's here we are here. Look, this is like well, I'll show you now what it is. Come back to me. Right. So menu. So we're going to say start a flight. Fly with career mode. Sure, why wouldn't we? I am a cadet. Ah, Jesus, I'm only a cadet. Get in there. Right, so we're going to look at it. It's reading this from the sim and also sim brief. Our departure, our arrival, our flight number, cruise altitude is 25,000. Time until takeoff, let's put it in at 20 minutes. And our flight time is roughly 36 minutes. We're going to click next. Do we have Wi-Fi? Of course we do. Do we have any boarding music? Yes, yes, we do. And we'll play a bit of it now, and we'll go with this. Snack and drink services, yes, yes. In-flight entertainment, sure, why not? You can also load in a custom safety brief. Now, I don't think I can do it on YouTube. I've like the Aer Lingus one. You also have the Ryanair one. Welcome on board this Ryanair flight. Jesus, do you want car insurance? No, I don't. It's car rental. But you know what I mean? But you can upload your own custom ones, okay? Or just leave it off. Is there a meal service? You can say yes or no to all of these. So I'm going to click on next. And now we have audio. And if you listen closely, you can actually hear the music. So, if I press buttons... hang on. Jesus. Oh, I need to set up other wing views. That's a nice view to have. Your man is giving a yucky booze there with the old A330, isn't he? Go on, you divil. But we have a bit of music now coming in, right? Hey, Gickness here. Good to see you. Phil! The local light in the tail comes on when you put the wheels down. Ooh. So we can hear a bit of chatter now from Pack X, and it tells us the flight phase, well, we're boarding the aircraft. So as that's going to happen, we're going to jump down here and start programming our MacDo, alright? And I'm not too worried, like Pack X, it adds your immersion and a bit of fun, and it kind of gives you a reason to fly. It's a lot of fun, right? So anyway, we're going to jump down here to this system, and let's see what we can do, right? You'll never get in the air, Murph. Sure, listen, we're here till tomorrow. Anyway, first and foremost, I think I need to go into... Is it the ATSU on the menu? As far as I know, we're already tuned in. So let's see if we go into initialization. We can import all of this. And that's coming in from SimBrief. Here we go. And now we can go to initialization for the aircraft. And we're going to pack that one in. So we're going from Shamrock 235 from Dublin to Glasgow, and it's loaded everything in from SimBrief. The only thing that's left for us to do, we have to put in the departure and the arrival manually. Everything else, it's already in. Couple of buttons, you're there. That's it. That's it. There's no magistry or magicianry or nothing. It's as simple as that. All right. So if we want to have a look and see what's happening, we're going to put in our zero fuel weight. It's going to say 42, yeah, stick her in. And our block fuel, we've put in 4.0. And we drop that in there. That's it. And it's going to give us our takeoff weight, and the devil knows what. Next, we can go to our perf, or performance, and we're going to have a look to say, well, I'm going to take off here from flaps 2. Now, we could use flex. Flex is basically like a torque setting, depending on what the power you want when you take off. The company will tend to dictate this to you, but as a rule of thumb, if the ground is wet, icy or snowy, you don't flex. You don't want any power reduction whatsoever. However, if it's dry, the rough rule of thumb, before you get out a little calculator, which I have, and we're going to add that to our gadget at some stage, you can, it's roughly add 30 degrees to your current outside air temperature. Roughly. Okay, so where's our temperature? So it's given us 6, so we can say, right, we can flex to 36 degrees. But I'm not going to. Not yet. That's the more advanced things, right? So we'll put in our V speeds. So we have 121, 122, and 126. That's our V speeds. V1, V2, rotate, and so on and so forth. Well, rotate, and then V2, alright? Nothing else we need to look at here. Go ahead and clear the little buttons. Now, if you look at our flight plan, we can see that we have Dublin up to Rotev, Gotna, Diesel, Blacka, and then Glasgow. We need to put in our departure, our SID. So we click on EIDW, and we're going to put in our departure. So, according to our flight plan, we know we have to go runway 28, and we're looking for the Rotev 1 Alpha. So we just scroll down. There it is, Rotev 1 Alpha. Ding! Is there going to be any transitions? I don't believe so. So we just hit insert. That's our SID programmed in. Okay? Now, we have a disco there. I'm not too worried about that. We'll clear him now in a minute. Now we're going to go down to our arrival into Glasgow. We're going to program that now. Later on, you'll wait until you're in the cruise.
Gentlemen, I would love to welcome you aboard our flight. When you find your seat, please be sure to place your larger carry-on items in the overhead bins and smaller items underneath the seat in front of you. Unless you're in the front row, please place all of your items in the overhead bins. Do you have any trouble?
So she's going through this. That's Teresa. Go girl, Teresa. Yeah. What's her second name, Teresa? Green. Teresa Green. Teresa will be taking very good care of you now, lads, in the back. So I'd like to sit back now, lads, relax, and listen to the safety demonstrations. But good girl, Teresa. Anyway, we're going to put in our arrival. So we click on this, arrival. ILS runway 23, because it's 23 according to our flight plan. And it's going to say what is our star. It was the Black 1 Golf, was it? Yeah, Black 1 Golf. It's up here on the very top of our flight plan. Alright? So it's the Black 1 Golf. Stick it in there. And we'll insert that. Alright. Did that go in? It did. Yeah, Black 1. Yeah, it went in. ILS Black insert. Right, okay. Back into our flight plan. Let's have a look. So, EIDW, there's our departure. We're going to clear the disco, or the discontinuity. That's onto Rotev, Gotna, Blacka, Gerva, D-Cell. And there we go. Now, here's the trick of the trade, right? We want this MacDo to mimic what our flight plan is actually showing us, which is this. Yeah? So how do we do it? How do we make the MacDo show us something like this? I'm glad you asked. So we'll go back down into the sim. And I want to pop out this little window right here. So if I press and hold the left, no it's not, the right ALT key and click on that, that'll give me a pop out here on the top of the screen and we can do something like that. Okay? This is just to help us along now. So I'm now over here. I'm going to change this to our planning page and I'm going to bring it out to about 20 nautical miles. Now once I go back down to my MacDo, I can start cycling through my flight plan. So I can see everywhere that we're flying to, and there's no discos and no problems. Blacka, Gerva, TRN, Lanark, and then into runway 23. If you want to see it better, just bring your zoom level out. And there you have it. And again, just cycle through your flight plan, and it's going to show you your entire route. Isn't that the cat's meow, lads? But isn't it? It's the cat's meow. So we now know that our MacDo, or FMS, is programmed for today's flight. Dublin to Glasgow, we have our SID loaded in. The aircraft is being loaded with passengers, baggage, and caterers, and all that fancy jazz. It's just really handy that you can pop out some of the windows. You can even throw this onto another screen if you want, which is really handy. If you use like an iPad, you have this Duet display, and you can actually use your iPad now as a PFD. Really, really handy. So we're going to close that. And we're going to continue on getting our aircraft ready to go. So, we have a couple of things. Oh yeah, we can do something fancy if we want. If you want to be very fancy and sophisticated, it's a kind of an addition. We go into our ATSU menu, ATSU. Click on that gadget right there. And we're going to go for the menu. And we want weather request. Check this out. Weather request. And we can either select one or both. And we just send it. I want a METAR. So it's after sending a request off to the METAR gods, right? And we're going to continue on. So at this stage now, I want to start up the APU, the auxiliary power unit, which is at... So she's telling us, are you ready to go? Come on there, will you? Yeah, we are. So APU power coming on. And we're going to start the APU. You got to wait for the door to open and then give it a blast. Turn our beacon on here as well. At the back of the aircraft, we'll hear the APU spooling up. Hey Dougal, good to see you. I wonder is there a waypoint called Gigna? Could you imagine? That sounds very quiet, doesn't it? The flap is open, she's spooling. Interesting. Usually you hear it going... Hey, Mike is here. Good to see you. Anyway, we know that the APU is coming online because it says the flap is open. Weird. Anyway, it is powering on there now. So once we have APU power, it's telling us that it's available. We'll jump up here and we need to turn on the APU bleed. APU bleed is now on. We can now turn off our external power. That's the end of him. Good luck to you. So, a couple of other things we need to do. Remember our, not the METAR, the other fella, the ATC, the 8 has told us our transition altitude is 6,000 feet. We're going to push that into the box. And remember, we have a speed restriction. We can't go above 250 knots, right? So we're going to get out of manage mode, bring that up to 250. Is it moving? It is. 250 is too fast. I'm going to put it at 200. I don't want to go faster than 200 knots, alright? Now you can see from our controls here, we're locked in 0. Perfect. And now I'm going to go over to my transponder. So ATC would have given us a transponder. So once we get ATIS, we contact Dublin Ground. And we'll say, Dublin Ground, this is Shamrock. Hey, Sky Pilot, God almighty! Many, many thanks, my friend, for the super chat. $25? Thank you very much, man. Cheers. So you contact ATC, and there's an acronym you use. It's called CRAFT. Craft. Clearance, route, altitude, frequency, transponder. You write down CRAFT. C-R-A-F-T. The first thing you need is your clearance. Clarence. Next up, you need your route, or your route. Where are you going? Next up is altitude. Then next to that is going to be your frequency, as in who are you going to be talking to, and after that is your transponder. So we would contact the ground. Dublin Ground, Shamrock 235 is an Airbus A320 on stand 402. Information X-ray, request clearance, and that's it. They'll come back onto us and say, Shamrock 235, Dublin Ground, good morning, you're looking well, you're a ham smell devil. Cleared to Glasgow as filed. Runway 28, the Rotev 1 Alpha departure. Transition altitude 6,000 feet. Contact Dublin Tower on 118.6. Squawk 2323. Our job is, we read it back. We're cleared to Glasgow as filed. Via runway 28, the Rotev 1 departure. Transition altitude, 6,000 feet. Contact Dublin Ground on 118.6. Squawk 2323. And then they'll come back and say, read back is incorrect. Call us when you're fully ready for push and start. And then you go, we'll report when ready. Because in Europe, which is very different than America, you guys can push. You don't need to report to the tower and say, hey, I need to push and start. We do. In case we were naughty. What are they doing? There's no surprise left. So we'll say, our next call to ATC will be Dublin Ground. Shamrock 235 is fully ready. Push and start. And then they'll say, push and start, approve. Contact, they might give us a direction, face north, face south, doesn't matter. Push and start, approved. Contact whoever, or he might keep you on that frequency when ready to taxi. You start the aircraft, you push back, you contact Dublin. How are you? Listen, we're ready to taxi. Then we'll get our taxi clearance. That's information you need to write down as well, because you might give you a mad map to get around, right? And that's the next stage. But anyway, we're going to put in a fictitious 2323. 2323. We're going to put it on TA, traffic, TA, altitude alert, and we'll go auto here in the box at the moment. That's looking good to me. Next up, we have our ground spoilers, or our speed brakes. This is similar to in the Boeing. You just got to pull them up one little notch. And we're arming the ground spoilers. It's like, we need to stop quickly. Do you know what I mean? Now, I'm really slow on the chat, lads. I'm really sorry. But we'll get there. Managed to set up a flight plan today, says Craig, and complete a full takeoff and landing. Granted, it was a Piper Cub, but it was a first for me having to only download the game. That's amazing progress. And listen, it's not a race. I'm flying simulators for years, and I'm still crap at this. Do you know what I mean? You might say, Murph, you're kind of sounding all right. I'm telling you I'm crap. But I enjoy it. I like the challenge, right? I like the challenge. It's all about the challenge. But anyway, we're supposed to be departing in 5 minutes, because I can see it from my little Pack X gadget down below. Right, so our APU is running, and we're pretty much pretty much good to go here. So I'm going to say remove the jetway, and that's going to move. You can hear the door closing.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard Flight 235 with service to Glasgow. Our flight time will be roughly 36 minutes.
Now, if you can hear her, she's actually saying, welcome aboard Shamrock 235, direct service Dublin to Glasgow. PAC-X is brilliant. It's reading what's happening. It's fantastic.
Fasten your seatbelt and verify it is low and tight across your lap. Your tray tables and seatbacks must be in the full upright and locked position for departure. Cabin crew, prepare doors for departure, cross-check, verify straps, and stand by for all call. Cabin crew, secure doors for departure.
Cabin crew, secure doors for departure. It's really cool. So, we're going to lock the door. Lock it, the door. And quick look up here now because we're going to start moving. So we're going to put our strobes to auto. Wing lights can come on. Do I need to worry about anything else here now for the minute? I don't think so. That light will turn off at the ground control and we're on our APU. So I need to do a push and start. So we're going to say, hi, come here to me, fella. Start pushback. So what we're going to do, we're just going to push straight back. So we're going to say reverse, keep it slow, and we're going to say park and brake off. Park and brake off, we have started the push. We now need to start the aircraft. We come down here to our ignition systems. We have engine selectors 1 and 2. Where mouse? Engine ignition, or engine 2 ignition, and we're going to start engine 2 first. Have a look at our systems here, and we can see the engine starting to spool.
Please direct your complete attention to the flight attendants as they demonstrate the safety features of our aircraft. You will notice a light illuminated above your seat. When this light is illuminated, to fasten, insert the metal fittings into one another and tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. We suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the flight as we may experience unexpected turbulence. There are several emergency exits on this aircraft. To familiarize yourself with the emergency exits on this aircraft, please refer to the safety card in the seat back pocket in front of you. In some cases, your nearest exit might be behind you.
Good girl Tracy, she sounded massive, isn't she? God love her.
And breathe normally. Although the bag does not inflate, oxygen is flowing to the mask. If you are traveling with a child or someone who requires assistance, secure your mask on first and then assist others.
EIO, I love it.
Until a member of the crew advises you it is safe to
okay, so it says engine 2 is now available. We're going to flick it over to engine 1 and you'll hear the dog biting.
The vest is located in a pouch under your seat or between the armrests. When instructed to do so, open the plastic pouch and remove the straps around your waist and buckle at the front. Pull the strap to tighten. To inflate the vest, pull firmly on the red cord only when exiting the aircraft. If your life vest does not inflate automatically, blow into the mouthpieces for manual inflation. Each vest is equipped with a whistle and light. If necessary, your seat cushion can be used as a secondary flotation device.
Pushback finished.
Pull the cushion from the seat, slip your arms into the straps, and hug the cushion to your chest. Once again, all devices must be in airplane mode and your larger devices must be turned off and stowed at this time. Please securely stow your personal items. Make sure your seatbelts are fastened and seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position. We remind you that this is a non-smoking flight. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying the smoke detector...
Now we have a company message here so we can go into this. MacDo.
All of this information and more can be found in the safety card located in the seat back in front of you.
Receive messages.
This and letting a cabin member know if you have any questions. Thank you for flying with us again, and we hope you enjoy your flight.
Check this out. It's now printing the METAR request that we asked them for earlier on. Isn't that the Mutt's pajamas? That's brilliant, isn't it? Hey, Keen Arthur, good to see you. So once that prints, we can click it out and we can have a gawk. So we can see Dublin METAR, variable winds 3 knots, visibility decent, few clouds 1800, broken 3600, broken 25,000, temperature 6, dew point 2, QNH 1018, no significant change. What's the crack in Glasgow? Winds 2405 knots, visibility good, no cloud data, okay. Temperature 5, dew point 3. Hey, our Zizzy's here, good to see you. Wait, what a flight. That's not GA, it's a glorious airliner. Yes, glorious airliner. So it was a decent start on our engines, right? APU is still on, we're going to fix all that now in a moment. Engine ignition back to normal. Full and full onto our transponder. Up on top here, turn off the APU. That looks good to me. We're going to get our runway turn off lights turned on and our taxi lights coming on here as well. We also have Pack X looking after our seatbelt sign, which is grand, absolutely grand. So we've told the machine we want flaps 2 for takeoff. So we're going to go ahead and select that. No significant cloud detected. It just said, was it NCD or NC? Well, thanks for the heads up, Jepson. By the way, Jepson, I loaded in, Jepson made fantastic Aer Lingus pushback vehicles and also Swissport. If you put in, see if the bot worked. Check this, lads. Check this out. Add-on. Or is it add-on? Anyway, the bot will come back with a link that you can actually grab some of Jepson 2001's excellent handiwork.
The cabin is ready.
There we go. The cabin is ready. Thanks, Teresa. Yeah, good girl yourself. Now, watch. We can do a thing here. Watch this, brilliant. We can interact with the cabin, or we can do a recording, right? And it'll play it back, right? Let's see if you can hear it first, right? Now, you couldn't hear me, so wait. Let's see if it plays it, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, you're very welcome aboard on today's flight. Direct Dublin over to Glasgow. The weather, and it could be looking well down there. We have 3 degrees looking after you. I'm your pilot, honestly, and the co-pilot here today is Phil. Or Philip. That's right, Philip. Where are you from? Oh yeah, Filipino there. He's going to let us know. Anyway, we're going to be taking off here now, blasting off here to Dublin, and then we're going to be going away then, and I invite you all now to sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight.
Okay.
And she said, okay, it's brilliant. Right, anyway, so you can do this kind of stuff in Pack X. It's great crack, isn't it? That's right, that's right. Murph, have you got multiplayer turned on? I should have, Gibbo. Now, it could be causing havoc with AIG. So if I don't have you now, I'll make sure it's on the return flight. We're going to fly from here to Glasgow. Then we're going to do the whole thing again, but Glasgow back into Dublin. All right? So fear not. So we need to do a couple of things to get the aircraft ready. So we need to do the auto brake, set them to maximum. Signs are on. We need to talk to the cabin. Cabin's ready. And we need to do takeoff config. Everything's green. Now we'll also turn on our weather radar, so turn him on and on. Yes. And that's it, we're good to go. So, park and brake coming off. And a bit of power, Murph. Right. Now with AIG, lads, it's hard to call, it could be absolute pandemonium, lads. We'll get ahead of the old British Airways. You're looking well, lads, yeah, you're looking well, don't mind me now at all. And there's a couple of Ryanair lads there as well. Oh, Jesus, mind your speed, will you? God almighty, Murph, you're not at home now. Don't do takeoff config until you're at the runway. I know, I tend to do it kind of roughly here. Because we're only blasting off from runway 28. Murphy, you're missing your turn off now, but it's alright, lads, it's alright. We'll hang a left here on 36, right? Keep an eye out for planes now, they'll get us. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, let's see what's happening here. Anyone there behind us? No? No, we'll be grand. Right, so as we're approaching the runway, all the lights. Turn them all on, Murph. Yes. And turn you on there as well. Jeffrey Bennett is in the right seat. Come on, Jeffrey, you're looking well down now, huh? You got a bad old knockout as right, Jeffrey, didn't you? You got a bad old knockout. Now, we'll put on any constraints that we have. We're going to go back to the ARC page so we can see what we're doing, and that's going to tell us any constraints that we have. I'm going to keep this in a range of about 10. So remember, 6,000 feet, don't go above 250 knots. I don't see any aircraft coming in. ATC gave us full clearance. We are cleared to take off. A320 Sim Captain, welcome in. I really hope this goes well now, lads. Do you know what I'm saying? Watch out for the birds. Oh yeah, there's birds here as well. There's the real NOTAMs that you get from whatchamacallit, from Simbrief. Awesome. Right, so we can see here our plan of attack, lads. Take off, get over 3,000 feet, and then swing to the right. It's the plan. Takeoff configuration is good. Flaps are good. We're walking, talking and squawking. It is time to depart. Are we ready? Alrighty then. So, power coming in. 40%. Toga. SRS is on. 100. V1. Yepsy daisy. Positive rate of climb and indicating. Gear up. Flaps 1. Watch your speed. And remember, we don't want to go above 250, yeah? So, let's say 210. Auto throttle is on. We could go into our climb profile. Lock you in. And we're going to go activate autopilot. We're climbing for 6,000. We're going to climb at a rate of 2,200 per minute. RGB. 210 is what I want. Auto throttle is engaged. We're going to hold 210. We're just coming up on 2,600 feet. At this stage, we'll be talking to the tower or contact to departure. The knocking noise, by the way, that's the front wheel hitting the cat's eyes. You know the reflective lights? They're not lights, they're reflectors on the runway. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. It's so immersive. Anyway, quick check now on the overhead. Nothing alarming or warning. Warning, warning, warning. All is well in the realm. Now, we'll talk to our passengers again, because we're flying over Dublin, right? And there's something, let me see. Public address, yes, yes. Something, point of interest, yeah. There's horses on the M50.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the cockpit, this is your captain speaking. Take a peek outside your window this afternoon and take in the view we have right here.
Check out the view. Yes, anyway. So we're doing well. Speed is looking good. That's the outer marker. Ground spoilers I'm finished with. There we go. So we're climbing up to our transitional altitude of 6,000 feet. It's now going to ask us for our standard barrow. Usually in the States that's 18,000. We don't need to worry about that. We're going to get clearance now up to flight level 110, 11,000 feet. Continue our climb. Speed at the moment is looking good. We can probably increase it now to about 220. We've now started our turn on this ROTEV departure. Have a look here into the sim. Click on this little gadget to appear our little airplane. Could not connect to the simulator. Well, the curse of the 7 Leopard... have I Volanta open? Yeah, we'll look at Volanta here. So this is us in Volanta. And we're following our SID. And we're going to ramble up this way. All is well in the realm. Does it always rain over here? All the time. Now here's another tip for the Airbus, right? You have anti-ice systems. You could put on your anti-ice for your, you know, the wings and the engines, whatever else. But the system will tell you when it detects ice. It's going to tell you there's ice, right? Add in a bit of a temperature here. So we're coming up on 8,000 feet. We're still under speed restriction until we get to ROTEV. And that's according to our chart. If we have a look at the ROTEV chart, until we get up here, maximum speed is 250 knots below flight level 10,000 feet. Once we get above 10,000 feet, we'll give it a bit of hockey, because we're above the restriction, yeah? So once we get above 10,000 feet, we can increase our speed like a devil. We're passing 9,000 feet now. Usually at 10,000 feet, you're going to turn off the lights, as in your takeoff lights. And Teresa will probably say, ladies and gentlemen,
we have now passed 10,000 feet, so you may turn on larger portable electronic devices. This is also a reminder to please keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the duration of the flight and do not form a line near the lavatory. This aircraft is equipped with onboard Wi-Fi. If you wish to connect to the Wi-Fi,
onboard Wi-Fi. I forgot to bring in my slats, but it's okay. We're now above 10,000 feet, lads.
Connect to the Wi-Fi.
Gear up the yard. And we're going to go now to our cruising altitude all the way up to flight level 250. Increase the speed, we can bring it up to about 280 knots. We can go faster, but we'll enjoy ourselves.
You can now get up and move around the cabin. However, we ask that you keep your seatbelt fastened when seated in case of unexpected turbulence.
That's cool. It's so immersive the way they're just chatting around. Wait till you see this now, right? So if we want to see, well, who's on the airplane, right? 97% of them are very satisfied. Let's go in and have a look. Look at this. See the little, it's like the old game of Pong. They're out having a ramble. Who's this out of their seat? And where are you going? Rebecca Flanagan, you divil you. But you can kind of see what the passengers are doing. There's Arthur O'Callaghan. He's a male. It's a leisure trip he's on. He's hungry. He's somewhat tired. He's 41 years of age. He's happy, but he's not thirsty. And he's seated with his seatbelt off. Isn't that brilliant? Now, Pack X or PAX, it's expensive. It's 40 euros. It's not cheap. But it is so polished. It's brilliant. Bring me a damn beer, says Jeffrey. A beer for Jeffrey, quick. But what's this? Flight attendant. Drink, please.
Hey, can we get something to drink up here?
Oh, behave.
Okay.
And then they'll ramble off and get us an ale drink. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, what we're going to do now, we're just going to enjoy some of the takeoff here, because I don't have multiplayer. Well, I do, but it doesn't seem to be working. But maybe you are flying along with me right now, live in the sky. So if you are, Xbox users press 1, PC users press 2, and sure, listen, if you're just here enjoying the service now from Philip and Teresa, will you press number 3? Do you remember, guys, if you're enjoying this sort of content, be sure to smash it, the thumbs up button. Makes me know you want to see more? You want more? Alright. This livery, it's available over on flightsim.to. Sure, look at the state of this, lads. Where would you get it? Smart flies Aer Lingus. Smarter flies Murph Airlines. Oh, Gabe, the bot is giving you grief. Poor El Gabe. He got a speaking to by the bot. The wolf has already landed. Go on, you divil ya. Ooh. The passenger app is called PAX. PACX. It's from TFDI Design. It's available through Orbex for about €40. We've just made it to Rotev. Here's our turn to the right. We're flying out for the crack, and when we fly back, we're flying out for the crack again. But sure, listen, isn't that just it? Craig Dawes, many thanks, my dude, many thanks. So our expected arrival is about 21 minutes. Gibbo Ireland has a question. He says, Murph, how do you know which engine to start up first for different aircraft besides reading the POH? Most aircraft will tell you in the POH, the Pilot Operating Handbook. It kind of started off, they used to start the right starboard engine first, because on the older aircraft that would have given you power to your generators and so on and so forth. And the reason why they did that, well, a lot of aircraft would have boarded from the port or left side. So you wouldn't want an engine running as people are boarding from the left. However, some aircraft are configured to be started on the left engine first. So it depends very much on the aircraft. Usually airliners are started on the right hand side. And it goes back to the days of the older aircraft. The generators would have been linked. Jesus, look at the turbulence here, lads. To be Huey and Ralph. Ladies and gentlemen, battle stations. Battle stations, lads. Can we make an announcement? Announcement. Type. Aircraft problem? No. Delay? No. Public address. Type. General? No. Aircraft problem? Problem. Engine oh Jesus, don't tell them that they'll lose ahead of schedule? No. There's turbulence though. How do we tell them there's turbulence? Hang on. We'll see what he says now to that. Wait for it.
Just want to say now, you're going to be sitting down fairly lively now. There's a bit of turbulence down there, lads. You'll be hopping around the place now. Sit down now, fairly lively. Do not make me go down to you.
Do you know? Calm it down. So some of the things we can do with Pack X, right? Well, you can tell it to stay on top of other windows. It's very important. Keep it in the middle of your screen. It's a divil when you move it. It gets lost, right? So keep it in the middle of your screen. It'll see your SimBrief username. You can tell it what audio levels and what audio device do you want it to be on. Mute audio and external view. That's up to you. You can say what sort of behaviour or incidents the aircraft. It's kind of like a role play. This thing might actually throw a problem at you, you know. Boarding to boarding time is short. Seatbelt assistance, I have it on full. If I turn it off, it's up to me to turn it on and off. The flight crew voice, we have it to captain. And then you have a number of different key bindings.
Ladies and gentlemen, due to the short duration of this flight, we will not be able to offer in-flight service.
Aww. Due to the short duration of this flight, we can't give an on-flight service. Teresa, we're bringing a whole load of Irish people to Glasgow to meet up with Scottish people. Jesus, woman, you can't be doing that. We had to cancel the curry chips and everything, huh? But anyway, that's what the options in here do. Berto, you absolute divil, you. Another $5. Well, many thanks, my dude. Infidel is here, good to see you.
Appreciate the comeback, good buddy.
Yeah, absolute lad. Thank you very, very much indeed. Murph is crazy? Not at all. Not at all. Anyway, so we have all our voice interactions where it translates, it does science, and it makes your voice into that of the radio voice, you know. We're at our cruise altitude, our flight phase, we're in the cruise, and we're at a speed, we're only tipping along nicely, 280, giving us 0.67 Mach. There's no Guinness, no Guinness. Now, we need to figure out our top of descent, right? Top of descent. Why isn't this working? Could not connect to your simulator. Boo! And we turn this gadget on again. Navigraph, run as administrator. Let's see what happens here, sports fans. These screens are very dark, aren't they? Up there now, you divot. That's the ticket. Right, so in comes Navigraph. Flights, that one and that one. Could not connect to simulator. Listen here now, mallet head. Why won't you connect? You stupid thing. Enable moving maps. I wonder did they break something in Sim Connect? Not important. Anyway, we got to keep an eye on here. Blacka. What's this going to tell us? Well, let's look at it. Can we see some information? No, we can't. Oh yeah, the Blacka 1 Golf. That's what we need to do. So let's have a look at the chart here. So we can see down here, here's Blacka. And again, we're going to have a look at any restrictions. Okay? So straight away, I can see one here. Once we get to Turnberry, hey, you're in Turnberry, hey. It's telling us that our maximum speed is 250 knots. So we now know, once we get to Blacka, we got to kind of bring our back a small bit down now, lads, right? Our descent planning. Pilots should plan for possible descent clearance as follows. Flight level 150 by Gerva, or flight level 070 or 7000 by Lanark. Gerva or Lanark. I'm going to plan to be down at 15,000 feet once we get to Gerva. We can also see by the time we get to Lanark, and see the way it has this weird, mad looking, beautiful thing? That's called a holding pattern. Do not proceed beyond Lanark without ATC clearance. So if we were on ATC on the network, right, we would be told before we get to Lanark, we'll be given vectors to get in towards the airport. They'll say continue on the SID or direct to or whatever. But ATC must talk to us. If ATC don't talk to us, we could remind them, Scottish Control or Glasgow Tower, whoever, Glasgow Approach, Shamrock 235, 6 miles from Lanark to land, Glasgow, something like that, right? And they'll say, oh yeah, Chase, we forgot about you. Or failing that, you would enter the holding pattern. And you'll stay there, held, until they clear you in. Alright? Irish and Tired says, Murph, do you have the UK 2000 Glasgow? No, I'm using the other one, the Put in exclamation point scenery. I do have payware for Glasgow. We're going to check it out. So remember, lads, once we get to Blacka, we need to start planning, slow it down, and start descending. Because once we get to Gerva, we want to be at 15,000 feet. So we'll jump down here, and we can see we're 21 nautical miles away from Gerva. So it's time to slow it down. It's telling us already we want to be at 1,000 or 15,000 feet. So we're going to down we go. Now we could do a calculator that's going to tell us what our descent is going to be. I know roughly it's about 2,200. So the aircraft is... Oh yeah, we want to slow down as well. So we're going to bring our speed back to 240 knots. So you'll hear the engines drop, and the nose is going to pitch down. We've started our descent. I want to bring our speed down a good shot here. 210 is enough. So we're going very fast. It's no harm. You just got to be gentle. We need a bit of help to slow us down. I'm going to put out the speed brake. That's usually the sign of a crappy pilot. Hey, that's me. I told you. But the speed brakes are now deployed, and we can see them up there. So we need to slow down, lads, and descend. So we're descending here. We're just about to hit Gerva. We need to be at 15,000 before we get to Gerva. That's just not going to happen now because I was too busy wondering why Navigraph wasn't connected. But that's totally fine. So there's the links to the 2 payware sceneries I'm using tonight. Dublin by MK Studios, which is only meh. And then we have Glasgow by Pyrig, or Pyrig, I think they're called. And it's nice. I like this airport. Beautiful. We need more slowage, downage, full flaps, or full speed brakes. Yes. It's not happening for us. Let's see what happens. We're alright, we're alright. Steve-O 1 can Evo, Jeffrey. Yeah, huge fan. Huge. Now, I have, where are they? Gibbo, would you do us a favour? Do you know the 2 yokes I posted earlier on for yourself and Naughty? Do you know the 2 links? Why is the screen doing that? What? Why is that? Do you guys see that? I lost the feed. Has it done that already tonight? Stupid thing. Anyway, there's links to a descent calculator and also your V speeds and flex. I think I have them in the our little channel, Gibbo. Yes, please. Yeah, if you can throw them into the chat, guys. Gibbo's going to post 2 links. Save them as your favorites because it has a descent calculator, which is super handy. You just say how far are you away from this waypoint, what's your altitude, what's your speed, and what altitude do you want to be at. It'll do all the computing for you. And then the other one then is flex temperature, or if you need to derate your engine. So at TRM we need to be down at 250 knots. We're around 250 at the minute, and we're still coming down nicely. If we check on our MacDo, what altitude should we be at? At the moment we're still okay at flight level 150. Once we get to Lanark, it's going to be 7,000 feet. Hey, Serene Navigation, welcome in. Chilo, good to see you. So we're alright, we're descending here nicely. Kinda. Now I'm surprised we haven't got an ice warning because at this altitude it's -11 and we're flying in the soup. But we should be okay. Takeoff performance calculator. So there's two links that Gibbo just put in the chat there, guys. Be sure to grab them. They are fantastic. They're very, very good. And it's handy to do them, like, when you're planning your flight, you're looking at your flight plan, that's where you do all of that stuff. It works. Now, our passengers are still very satisfied at 97%. So we might do another kind of, hey, look out the window.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, this is your captain speaking. I don't normally point this out, but if you take a look outside, we're over a pretty interesting landmark.
The landmark is a load of sheep in the field. That's right. They're looking well now, lads. They're down there now, lads. They got a bunch of sheep in the field looking upwards. And they're wondering, what's this fella coming in here at all? Huh? Does he not know the time of day, the place and time of day? What are they doing? Where they're going? Who are they meeting? And as if they're doing anything at all. But that's what that does. So speed is now below and we're just hovering at around flight level 150. That is good. If we want to look at Lanark, we got to be down at 7,000 feet. So we're going to continue our descent down to 7,000 feet. I'm also going to continue our descent at around 1,800 feet at this stage. And our speed is coming down nicely. So I'm looking for 210. There is a speed restriction at Lanark. If we have a look, we got to be down to 230 knots or below, and our flight level is at 7,000. That's a landmark over there. I know, right? Are you going to do an ILS? Yeah, we'll do an ILS. Hey, Lee Dixon, good to see you. Speed check is here. Hello from Senegal. Hello from Tipperary. Hope you're well, my dude. Many thanks for joining us. Don't forget, guys, if you do like this sort of stuff, or if you're new here, be sure to click on the little thumbs up. It helps a lot. And, well, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you are new here, we also have a fantastic Discord. If I can't... Discord F. No, it's just called Discord. You big eaters. Discord. Do be sure to hang about over there, because that's where we hang about when we're not on the live streams. So, let me see. Can we see Lanark? Lanark is ahead of us there. Speed is still looking good. We're going to increase our rate of descent here. Speed brakes are out. It's alright. So far, so good. So we're going to go down to 7,000 feet. And at this stage, ATC would be onto us now saying, you're cleared to runway 23 via the Blackhead 1 Golf. And so as you can see, as soon as we get to Lanark, it's only a short spot around and we're going straight in for a landing on runway 23. Thus, that will conclude our first flight. I'll give you 2 thumbs up, Murph. I can't you divil you. Nick is like, come on, Murph, do an NDB instead. Listen, hey. Enter destination data. I'm not worried about that yet. Now we are getting a little bit of turbulence. So we're coming on to 10,000 feet. landing lights are going to come on.
The flight crew has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. Please return to your seat and fasten your seatbelt.
So far so good. Our speed is good. It says 230. We should be there. Hey, Dave Hudson!
We have begun our final descent into Glasgow.
Many thanks,
Flight
Dave.
attendants will be passing
Cheers,
through the
man.
cabin to collect any trash one final time. Please ensure tray tables are stowed and seats are in the full upright position.
That's
Please
Teresa
also
there
store
now.
any carry-on items either in the seat back pocket or under the seat in front of you. Please complete all Wi-Fi related tasks and stow any larger electronics.
You have to store away your electronics. That's it, lads. She's on to us. Dave Hudson, thank you very, very much indeed. You absolute legend. Now, so let's get kind of a visual representation of what's happening. The waypoint, Lanark, is dead ahead, which means the airport is over here somewhere. Alright? In actual fact, it's over there. So we want to descend down to 7,000 feet. Speed is looking good. We will be spot on 7,000. Then we're going to have a decel. We're going to bring our speed back, and then we're going to be capturing the ILS. We want to get established on the ILS, and if we go into radio nav, we can see that the ILS frequency is 110.10 programmed in. We could put in the VOR, or we can also put in the we could put in a VOR or the ADF if we wanted to. I'm just going to leave it as it is. But already that our nav radios are tuned into the ILS into Glasgow. So once we get to Lanark, we're going to be turning left. I'm then going to stick it onto approach mode, and let's see if it works. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So 7,000 feet, our speed is coming back. Speed breaks off, and we're just going to ramble in. Yeah, what's our Q&H here? 1017. Standard at 7,000. It depends on the area, so whatever the transition altitude is. So over in America, it's 18,000. Once you go above 18,000, you put it into standard pressure. In Europe, it's a little bit different. Sure, we have to be different. Do you know what I mean? Just to make it confusing. So all is looking good, speed is looking good, engine power is looking good. Come on, Soak says, Murph, the holding pattern is 4 miles. So that's about 57 seconds before you turn at 250 knots. Ooh, nice. I haven't done a hold in this aircraft yet, but it is something. Well, you lads, you're going to have to teach me how to do one of them soon. Do you know what I mean? Like, as far as I know, if we jump into Lanark, we can add in the hold and tell the system, do a hold, and it'll hold us there. But I'm not going to mess with that just yet, in case I break it. And there's a good chance I will break it. Do you know what I mean? Hey, Lackwed is here. Good to see you. I'm not used to you flying airliners. I know, right? I mean either. But sure, listen. It is what it is. So our speed is good. Altitude is now good. Once we get to Lanark, we're going to be making a left turn, and we're going to descend a little bit. And we're going to try and intercept the ILS. Is that right? You know, I think it is, yeah. I stay confused. That's okay, Jeffrey. We're both as confused as each other. Like a goat staring at thunder. Jeffrey, you know what I mean? Next time there's thunder. Murph, did you see that Just Flight will release loads more info about the 146 in the next day or two? I know. I might know a fella who has a fella who hang on, wait. Yeah. The 146, I need to learn it. Soon, Gibbo, soon. Also the MD-80? Or is it the MD-82? One of them, the Leonardo one. Coming out soon. I'd panic if they told me to do a hold. Here's the gas thing, lads, right? When we fly in the stream, it's a circus. It is the flying circus. That's what we do. When you're on ATC with VATsim and you're flying IFR, you can't really. We're supposed to be landed in 2 minutes. They're going to be pissed. When you're flying on something like IFR, right? your entire route or your route, it's already forward planned for you. You just got to keep an eye on it and make sure the plane is doing what it's supposed to do. So in a lot of ways, it's actually easier to fly IFR than it is VFR, especially if you're using ATC, because, well, you're more controlled here. And it is fun flying the bigger jets. Right, so here's our turn. Lamble down to 3,000 feet. And let's go approach mode. Let's see what happens here, sports fans. So we can see that a little light came on to say that the altitude is now being managed. We're going to keep it at 210 knots. It's giving us a Category 1 landing. Location is on and our glide slope. So we're just going to wait for the things to start aligning here. And it should dip at the nose down and it'll descend us in. Hey, Espen is here. Good to see you. Why are you stuck around 7100? Should it not descend to 7? Yeah, I don't know why it did that. We'll see now, right? We've put it on approach mode, so it should start picking up the localizer and also the glide slope. I wonder, should it start descending? We'll descend it here ourselves. Go down, you divil. We'll bring it down ourselves to see what happens. 1500, yeah, that's okay. Out view, please, he says. Sure, why not? All right. So, hang on. Here we go. Right. So let's see. Coming down to 4,000 feet. That's okay, Phil. So you can do what's called a Category 3 auto land, in which we could set this up. We can turn on both autopilots. So we're going to go for a Category 3, a dual, which means that the aircraft will now enter an auto land setup, right? So if we go back to managed mode. Oh, okay. It'll bring us down to 3,000 feet. And then we want to get established on the localizer. Do you see the purple little dot? See that gadget there? That's what we're aiming for. As soon as we hit that, the aircraft should go into its own profile and start descending, right? So quick check. Lights are on that they need to be on. Power and all that kind of jazz is kind of good. Keeping an eye on our speed. We're going to bring the speed right back to 180 knots because we're going to be deploying some slats and flaps. To get ourselves ready for landing, we're going to go... oh, we can't do it yet. Wait till the flaps are out, then we can stick it all in there. So we're about to hit 3,000 feet. The airport is over there somewhere. I had 4 CTDs as well. That's mad. Come on, Stoke. Redman Tech, good to see you, man. Welcome in. Speed check, thank you very much for your kind words, dude. Yeah, I appreciate it. Now, let's see what happens here. So we want 180 for our speed. We're getting down to that nicely. Category 3, dual. Look at this. Ah, sure, look at it's only Eddie Johnson after subscribing. Many thanks, Eddie.
2,500.
Okay, so auto throttle is still on. Ground spoilers are armed. I'm going to go for a notch of slats here. So landing gear, not yet. Aircraft is now turning us. We're established on the localizer. See the way this just came on here? It says localizer. We're established on that. We're just going to wait for the glide slope. So once the glide slope goes green, we are hunky-dory. As me scenery is doing something kind of mad. Oh, behave, baby. The sound of that! Hang on.
Oh, behave.
So we're just going to wait for the glide slope. Hey, Rogers RC is here. Good to see you, man. There's the runway. So what we're going to do, we're going to drop the landing gear. Gear down. And we're going to see the aircraft should start descending itself. If it doesn't, I'll just jump it back into manual mode. We're on the glide slope now. So see the way glide slope is activated and the aircraft is now pitching itself down. Laps 2. Bring your speed back a smidgen. I want to see a smooth landing. No problem, lads. It'll be grand. We'll see. Right, cabin, we need to check. Cabin crew, sit down. Why is me screen doing that, lads? I never did that before. Is it flickering the odd time showing the desktop? Oh, do you know what it is? It could be Pack X, because that's running in the background. Speed is good. Altitude is good. Flaps full. So we can see here from our checklist, landing gear is down, signs are on, cabin is ready, spoilers are armed, flaps are full. Speed brakes will go for medium. Oh, this is terribly exciting! Quick, another shot of whiskey! Ah, hit the LS button. Do I? Oh yeah. Well, yeah, it's on auto land. But yeah, okay. What's going to happen here, sports fan? Imagine if the thing crashed, as in a CTD. If that happens, I'm jumping out that window. Ah, out! What happened? Right, here we go. This is fierce exciting. Speed is being managed. We're on the glide slope. Poppy lights give me 2 white, 2 red. We're absolutely thrashing it now, lads. Absolutely thrashing it. Bikes, planes and copters make the hairs on the back of my neck stand up.
1,000.
1,000 feet. Approach is stable. Continue.
1,000.
It's okay. We are getting the machine to land us. I had Sony gaming on the stream last night, lads. He's so much fun. Twice I have noticed. You're not going to crash more. Thanks. Kerry Goldage, says Gregor. Go on the Kerry, mate. Yup, there with that. Right, what's going to happen here, lads? Nobody knows. It says landing inhibit. Sure, listen, we're going for it anyway. We're getting down. We're going to land.
500.
500. Go into managed speed.
400.
Andrew, you're an absolute ledge, you know that? There we were, belting it, and sure, listen, there was no need for it.
300.
300! Jesus, lads, we're getting close! See the way this says land?
200.
200! Oh, what's going to happen? I'm terribly nervous. I'll do this.
100.
100.
50. 40. 30. 20. Retard.
Steady.
5.
Oh, Jesus! It's alright! It was a Ryanair landing! It said flare and it didn't flare! It's alright, we won't worry about it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, awful sorry about your bump here now, lads. We just wanted to make sure that the tyres were still inflated. And, well, you're very welcome to Glasgow. And please note that Aer Lingus won't be accepting any sort of commissions now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Glasgow. The local time is 4:19 p.m. and it's currently about 4 degrees Celsius. You can now use your mobile devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to use caution when opening the overhead bins as items may have shifted during the flight. If this is your final destination, we thank you for flying with us and we hope to see you again soon.
Now, lads, I'd just like to add to what Teresa said there now. It's not a case of your belongings having moved during the flight. You'll find now that your belongings have smashed into absolute smithereens. That was Philip Eno who landed the airplane there now, lads. We gave him his first shot of it, lads. It didn't turn out terribly well, God love him. But listen, lads, the main thing is we've made it, and I'll see you at the bar. There we go. Right, so go number 36, please. Yes, yes, yes. We'll ease our way into it, lads. Ease our way in. Turning left here. Yes, yes. That's like a Logan Air. Now, we don't want to be blinding the lads here now. We don't want to be blinding the lads. Turn them off there now. And we'll just kind of gently now kind of roll it, schmoodle it in there now, lads. Easy does it now, boys. Easy does it. Now, we'll go to the cheat camera. Oh, jeez, we're not even on the centre line. Yeah, Murph. That's straight flying. Say nothing now, lads. Jesus, don't hit the stairs. Just tap it in. Just tap it in. Just tap it in. Tap, tap, taparoo. Wait for it, wait for it. Oh, that's so satisfying when you get it straight onto the spot like that. Right, now, park and brake. Up the yard. APU. The engines gave a bit of a purr there. Did you hear that? APU is on, turn on the bleed, and we will go for engine shutdown. Ladies and gentlemen, you're very welcome to Glasgow. Just like to say now, anyone who can't get up and walk out, we'll be bringing in the wheelchairs now, and we'll even inflate the slides so you can have a nice exit at the airplane. Now get out quick. Who locked themselves in the lavatory? Right, that was fun, wasn't it? As the airplane kind of just calms itself down, turn off the strobes, man. There we go. Hey, Mr. Chippy's right here. Ah. Right, lads, that was the dress rehearsal. We got to do it again now. But we're going the other way. We're going to depart Glasgow and we're going to ramble back towards Dublin. And I'm going to turn off AIG Traffic because we're going to do the multiplayer flight part of this now. So jump on. We're going to be on the Southeast Asian server. I'm going to restart my simulator. Because it gets a bit kind of, do you know what I'm saying? Oh, we better finish the flight. Flight, menu, end flight. Okay, so, very satisfied. They were very, get out of here. The landing was a bit rough. Anyway, 158 passengers. They were happy out. Landing rate was 226 feet. It's not the worst I've done. It just sounded god-awful. Would have been nice to eat during the flight. There's always one, isn't there? Yeah, big moany ho. Anyway, I'll be definitely recommending you at work. Yes, yes. Thank you for the nice comments. Scroll down now. The crew told us we flew over something interesting. We did! We did! It was goats looking at thunder. So I'm going to click save. And, don't crash. Don't crash. It's thinking about it. There we go. So, PAX is finished with. Why are the strobes still on? Turn off you Divlia. They're all okay to me. They're all okay. We're looking kind of alright. So you're very welcome to Glasgow. Yes, it's quite nice this time of year. And if you look at the old time of day, right? It's 25 past 4, so 25 past 5. We're going to take off at around 5 o'clock when we come back, because I want to do a nighttime arrival into Dublin. Dublin! Do you know what I mean? Nice and educational, that. More beer, yes. Diversion to Cork. That's Cork. By the way, there's scenery for Cork in Microsoft VATsim. Stay away from it. It's absolutely brutal. It's like the lads from Leitrim built it or something. Jesus, stay away from it. It's awful. There's much better freeware. It does look cold. It's only 4 degrees here. Do you know what I mean? Whose idea was that? Do you know? Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to exit the flight and we're going to do it all over again. But I'm going to take you through the flight planning stage of what do we do next, right? So, let me think. Have you buttons, Merv? Oh, I do. So, quit the desktop. Imagine if I didn't get back into the sim. Jeez, do you know? Close you. Close you. And refire up at the simage. Anyway, who do we hear? We've 60 people here. 56 likes. Sound out, Merv. We have 56 likes. Thank you all so very much indeed. Jesus, I'm not just saying something. We've only 60 people here now. We had like 61 a minute ago. Sorry. But anyway, this is weird on YouTube, isn't it? Right, so we're going to go back into SimBrief, and I'm going to talk you through creating a new flight. So when you go to SimBrief, this is the page you'll be met with. Register on SimBrief, lads, it's free. Totally free. You don't need to worry about anything, right? So once you log in, we go to Dispatch and click on the Dispatch system. In we go, and we're going to create a new flight. Do we have to get off, says Jeffrey? No, you stay there, Jeffrey, you're in charge. So it's just going to load in a generic dispatch screen. So airline, we're going to be Aer Lingus, also known as Shamrock, 235, that's my number. We're going to depart from Echo Golf Papa Foxtrot, and we're going to arrive into EIDW. Our airframe is that of an A320, and you can select many other airframes depending on your aircraft. SimBrief has a massive library of different aircraft. Now our alternate is going to be Shannon, fair enough. Let's have a quick look down here. So it's going to be Glasgow down. So I want to make sure that we have a SID and a star. So our SID is going to be the Norb 1 Hotel. We're going to fly via Norbo, back to Blackett the Divil. Then we're coming in with the NIMAT and the NIMAT 2 X-ray arrival into Dublin. And our landing into Dublin is going to be runway 28 left. Now, Dublin at the moment, it's undergoing a bit of surgery, lads, right? A bit of surgery. And we'll open up, we'll open up Bing Maps. Keep it all with Microsoft. Do you know what I'm saying? There's a fella now looking out for them. Do you know what I'm saying? Jay, what part of the world is that? Right, now, up here. Yes. And we need to go to satellite. Dark area, there we go. Now, if you have a look at Dublin, right? Well, they're building a new, this is an old picture, they're building a new runway, right? At the cost of the taxpayers' revenue, well, probably Europe's at this stage. But it's going to be very, very interesting. Dublin has now 2 airport terminals, right? Which is real handy. So they're creating a new runway here. So effectively, you'll have 28 left, 28 right, and then you'll have 10 left, or 10 right, and 10 left. At the moment, you can only depart from runway 16. They're not allowing departures from runway 34, and they're not allowing arrivals on runway 34, as far as I know, because there's works vehicles down this neck of the woods. You've cranes, you've all this sort of jazz, right? So that's what that is. So this is Dublin Airport. My plan, we're going to land on runway 28, and we're going to go all the way down to here, and this is going to be, it's called a high-speed exit, so we're going to aim for that. And we'll look at our charts to find out what that is. It's basically the third last turn off. That's what we're going to aim for. So the touchdown area, where you can see that plane, see where the tarmac gets dark, and then it kind of calms down a bit? They're tire marks. That's when the aircraft land. like what we did back in Glasgow. In fact, there's probably bits of tyre left on the runway. Such was our landing, right? What are they doing with all the sheep? You see, you think they were sheep, but they're actually Irish military forces waiting for that time in their life that they're going to be called. They're not sheep. I don't know what they are. That is a very good question. They're like lights and stuff. They're the lights, runway lights. They're not like fancy little things that you have in Microsoft Flight Simulator. There's lights all over the jazz, you know. But that's what they are. So once we land, we're going to taxi back in. We're going to do another exit here on, I think it's Sierra 2, Link 1, and then we're going to be parking somewhere over here. This is gate 402. Aer Lingus cargo is over here. You tend to get the American stuff sitting in here as well, Delta or American Airlines. And the larger aircraft from Aer Lingus all live down this neck of the woods. A330s, I think I saw an A340 in here one day, and very rarely you'll see 74s, but you don't see them anymore. 787s and 777s, they all line up here. The likes of Etihad, Emirates, all them lads. Now, this is kind of like more the Aer Lingus regional, CityJet, that kind of jazz. They're from the old small little terminal here. Then you have the new concourse. This belonged to Ryan. Well, it's not belonged to, but it's usually used by Ryanair, right? Tons and tons and tons of Ryanair are always down here. And the reason why they can give you a cheap fare, well, when you arrive to Dublin Airport in Terminal 1, which is here, you have a walk which might take you 17 hours to get to the terminal, and then they fly you to a place that wasn't near the airport or the city you wanted to go to. So that's all belonged to Terminal 1. This here is Terminal 2. It's fantastic infrastructure. Dublin Airport have done an incredible job. If you're into your airports, do you know what I mean? So the sim is loading up here nicely in the background. So we're going to go in now and check on SimBrief. So we're going to say, right, it's going to be the number 1 hotel, and our arrival is going to be onto runway 28 left. I'm happy with that plan, so I'm going to click generate the flight. Do you want to generate it? Indeed I do. So when we generate that, I'm going to go back into Navigraph, right? And I'm going to unload this flight, and I'm going to load in the next flight. Once SimBrief says we're ready to go, and we are. So I'm going to print and view my flight plan. And again, if you don't want the flight plan this detailed, this is like how many pages? 40 pages of whatsits. Check this stuff out. Look, wait, this is class. This is using real world data, by the way, in your flight sim. And it does say not for real world navigation, but sure, they're pulling the information in, right? So we can look at some of the NOTAMs or warnings, right? So you can see Newcastle, the different areas are going to be flying, has COVID information, but it also has details in relation to the Ukrainian crisis, explaining that there's no Russian aircraft allowed to fly, and if you see any sort of activity, you need to report it. Also, it's telling you, stay the feck away from the neck of the woods, 200 nautical miles away from Ukraine, because there is a risk. There's danger, there's a risk, there's the whole lot. It's so sad what's happening over there, and my thoughts and prayers are going out to the people of Ukraine, because it's just a shit show, you know. But anyway, what's cool here is this is going to give you information of what's actually happening in the world. This goes on to talk about Afghanistan. Do you know, like it's giving pilots the information to say, hey, isn't that pretty cool? And you know, you can get the same thing if you're flying in the States. It'll give you the traffic restrictions. You know, if the president is going off somewhere, he's having a session, and they say there's a traffic restriction at TFC, you're not allowed to fly here, you'll see it in your notes here as well. It's pretty cool. So that's what all that is there. So saying ongoing military activity and the airspace within 200 nautical miles along the border between there and Russia. Mad, isn't it? But anyway, that's our flight plan. We don't need all that information. We can then go further down and we can see our different routings. So that's what it looks like. Yes. Now we can also get the weather information. So you often see like high pressure, low pressure, different fronts, weather fronts moving in, right? And not only that, we can also get the winds aloft. The winds up there, the loft, up high, right? So we see 24 and a direction, 24 knots, 34, and so on and so forth. It's going to give us different altitudes of what's actually happening. So looking at this, it's going to be windy because it's a headwind, right? And then you can kind of see it here when we take off and we come back the way. Top of climb is going to be after Norbo. Top of descent is going to be at Neumatt. So we know we need to be at our maximum cruise altitude once we get past Norbo and before Gerva. So it's going to be a fairly steep departure. And you can see that illustrated here on this. It's fairly steep. Then our top of descent is at Nymat. Therefore, once we get to Nymat, we start our descent all the way back into Dublin. So this is giving it a side profile of roughly how you're going to visualize what it is you're going to be doing. And it's giving you some information about the wind as well. All right. Very interesting stuff. It just helps. And that's the end of your document. Gregor, yeah. Mad, isn't it? Mad. So that's loaded, ready to go. I'm now going to go back into here and I'm going to say a new flight from SimBrief, Glasgow to Dublin. That's it. There's the route. There it is. And the first thing I want to do is look at my departure. If I want, I can have a look at the airport, Glasgow. So if I say, right, hi, what's the story with Glasgow? Can we have a look at it here? So here's Glasgow, and it gives you a little map, right? Now we're parked down on stand 36. We don't call them gates. Pilots don't call them gates because gate numbers could change. They call them a stand. We don't say we're at gate 402. You're not at a gate. People go to the gate opens, they use the air bridge over the stand onto the airplane. We call them a stand. Okay? You learn something new. It's called a stand. But that's what we do, right? So we can have a look. So we're down here. Jesus, where are we? We're down here, I think. That doesn't work. The moving map thing isn't working on my system. Anyway, we'll check our flight plan to see where we're going. All that's going to be grand. Now, we also need to check out our departure. It's the Norb 1 hotel. So let's have a look. Again, look for things that are of a different colour. Red or bold or flashing lights or whatever it is. And there's a bit of information going on here, right? Now, the chart is telling us our transitional altitude is 6,000 feet. We still have to listen to ATC because they might advise us it's something different. They could say it's 7,000 feet. They could say it's 6,500 feet. It can vary, all right? Was it on 36? Parking stand. Yeah, that's the one. It's 36. Anyway, SIDs include noise preferential routes. Cruising levels will be issued after takeoff by Scottish Control. That's all. Expect grant. So let's look at our restriction. Maximum speed of 250 knots below 10,000 feet. That's the same what we had coming out of Dublin, so we're familiar. Don't go over 250 knots unless otherwise authorised. Right? So ATC will say, go on, give it hockey. Sure, you want to get back in time for the match. All right? Other things we need to look at. So what's our runway? What's our departure here? We're departing from hither. We are departing here from runway 23. So it's the same as what we landed in, right? So runway 23, that's what we're doing. So from runway 23, we're going to fly a heading of 226 degrees. Yeah, we're coming this way. 226 degrees. And there's the number 1 hotel. You see that there's a height restriction between 5,000 and 6,000 feet. Then it's 6,000 feet here. And then we turn south to Norbo at 6,000 feet. Let's have a look. These SIDs require minimum climb gradients of 3.8% up to 1,200 and 7% up to 6,000 due to ATC and airspace restrictions. Interesting. Why would anyone think there's restrictions like this up this neck of the woods in Scotland? Answers into the chat. So we can look at the instructions. Norbo 1 Hotel, runway 23. Climb straight ahead. Intercept GOW or GOW, radial 226, cross D12.0 at or above 5,000 feet with a maximum 6,000 to D14. Then turn left, intercept TRN on radial 005 inbound to Norbo. So it's kind of telling us what we're going to do. If I was like your sat-nav voice, it'd be like, climb straight ahead, intercept, go, or, you know what I mean? That's what they're telling us what to do. Do you know what I mean? Hey, Vruden is here. Good to see you. Welcome in. I was flying with Willie Canuck. Oh, nice. Nice. Willie Canuck. I didn't catch him tonight. I just realised I was streaming when Willie was on. He's going to be miffed. Sorry, Willie. Sorry. I don't belong here anyway. It's grand. We don't usually do the airliner stuff. Anyway, guys, we need to remember our transition altitude is 6,000. We can't go above 6,000 until we get down to Norbo. All right? That's enough of information from there. So minimize this. The sim, hopefully TJSS has loaded. It has. Now we don't put in a arrival airport. We just put in a departure, right? I think I have AIG turned off. So we should be on the ground here. Yes, we are. And well, I'm in on ramp 36. I'm going to click set as my departure. I'm now going to go in and turn on our multiplayer for the sim. We're on the Southeast Asian server. And we're going to depart at 1700 local. About there. Okay. Don't worry about your routing or otherwise. All of that's going to be programmed from the aircraft itself. All right. So we click fly. Fruden says, Murph, thanks for the F-35 vid. That's where I learned how to fly it. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's so much fun, isn't it? Vertical takeoffs and stuff. Now, so what else do we need to do? Volanta is free as well. This is from Orbex. Volanta is brilliant, lads. I highly, highly recommend it because this will show you what VATsim is doing. You can tell, it doesn't have to be VATsim, it could be IVAO, or indeed it could be Pilot Edge, or just Volanta aircraft. It's another moving map. This is the freeware version. You can get the payware. To be honest, I don't see the reason to have premium. But we're going to be starting here in Glasgow. It's already picking up our route. So if I want to say add a flight plan, import from SimBrief, here is our new flight plan. So it's going to bring us down this way. It's in the magenta color. All right. And by this, see the way you have these different colors? Well, that's telling you that Dublin Control is online. Birmingham Approach is online. You can see stuff going on there in Paris. There's stuff there over in, where's that? Hamburg, it looks like. There's stuff going on up by Estonia and into Russia. And then the US, South America. There's a good few places online. Hawaii, they're all up and running. So these are showing you the coverage areas that have actual live ATC from VATsim. Super cool, right? So our flight here now, your bandwidth is too... Would you get out of that garden, will you? Your bandwidth is too slow. Huzzah! Hurrah! Nice! So we have other aircraft here. Nice, lads. This is cool. So we're going to get the aircraft into a state to take off. I'm using live weather. And just remember now, unlike our normal flights, we got to give ourselves a bit of spacing because ATC would have an absolute holy if there was all sorts of crack going on, right? So we'll start at the beginning again. We need to get some power into the machine. So we're going to start off with our batteries up on the very top. Battery 1. We wait for the ESS bus. And then we press battery 2. That's going to give us some very, very basic systems. Straight away, we're going to connect to external power. There we go. Got some lightage. Get our screens turned on. Some panel lights turned on. So just get our lighting up and running first. I'm going to switch in there. We've lights down here as well. Okay. Nice. Now we need to turn on our fly pad. So what I'm going to do, I need to make a very quick bathroom stop. So I'll put a bit of music on here in the background and we keep an eye on everyone here on the ramp. Because these are looking absolutely brilliant, lads. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to refill me cup on tea as well. And I'll see you here back in about 2 minutes. Alrighty then. I have a cat here in front of me. Hello, cat. Now, I'm just waiting for PAX to start up. Why isn't that turned on? Jesus, cat. Go handy, will you? Right, now, where's my mouse? Right, PAX. Up there now. We'll get this loaded in and we're going to get ourselves started up here and, well, we're going to start boogieing, right? So we'll get a camera view here and let's go for the nice view. So if we're coming into Dublin, we can probably keep it on that view there. Nice. All right. Now, there we go. Okay, so PAX is now up and running. So we're going to say, PAX, we want to start a flight, please. Fly with career mode, sure, why not? We're going to be Cadet Murphy. This is our flight. Time until takeoff. Let's say that. Passenger count 174. Aircraft has Wi-Fi. Play boarding music. Epic. Lingus say. Yeah, sure, why not? We don't want snacks or meals because they'll be given out to us again. There we go. So over to our little tablet here. Cat, you're going for a hop. Go out and play with the traffic. Right, so we're going to load in our plan from SimBrief. Here we have Glasgow back to Dublin. Jeffrey, don't worry, man. We'll just take our time. So we need to look at the flight plan. Block fuel is giving us 4772. We're going to put in 4.8. All right. So 4,800. 1 minute of refuel. Again, I have my fuel set to fast. Ground. We can click on PAX, but I don't think the stuff works here. There is there ATC? Yeah, there's ATC here as well, but I'm not going to use that. So it's time now to go through our flows on top. Remember, we do our weird S thingamajig. Hello, cat. So, first and foremost, crew supply is on. Ground control on. Do a test. That's working. Go ahead and turn on the ADRs. Moving down, we can put our pumps on because we're going to be starting up the APU pretty much straight away. We're on external power. We're going to turn on our strobes to auto, nav lights on, emergency lights on, APU switch armed. We're going to click on the beacon light and we're going to start the APU. Hey, Bell Bro! What's the story? No, Murph, I mean almost every day. Alright. It's grand! Absolutely grand. So, our passengers are now boarding the aircraft, which is fine. Seatbelts go to auto. Transition altitude, guys, is 6,000 feet. Go ahead and stick that in. We need to be careful with our speed here as well, so we're not going to go bananas. We're going to keep it at around, let's say 190 knots for our initial departure. Go ahead and turn up these screens here as well. APU should be powering up. Which it is. Hey, I see Muse fan. Go on the Muse. He's geeking him mad, that lad. Where's the cat? Oh, she's there. He's geeking him mad. Right, so we need to reset our barrow here as well. So 1018. Yeah, we can do the same down here. 1018. Grand. That's all done. Loading is complete. That's good to me. Doors are locked and secured and armed. Arm the ground spoilers. Lock the cockpit door. Again, we do our craft, CRAFT, clearance, route, altitude, frequency, and transponder. That's when we contact ATC. So I'm going to put in 2321. Go ahead and TA and put it onto standby. We've more lights here as well. We will be doing a nighttime arrival into Dublin. So into our ATSU first. We're going to go to our AOC menu and our initialization. We're going to click on that and we're going to initiate our data, our init data request. That's going to pull the information in from SimBrief, which it has. Go to the second page and everything looks good here. We also have an auto land that we can do. We now go into initialization. We're going to request that once again from SimBrief. It's updated it. We're Shamrock 235 from Glasgow back to Dublin. Our alternate is going to be Shannon. Look at the next page. We're going to say 0 fuel weight. Pop that in. And what did I say our fuel was? 4.8 is what goes into the box. 4.8 is our block fuel. Nice, that goes in. Shoot across, that looks good to me. IRS initialization is already done. Go ahead and clear this. Now, performance page. So we want to take off from flaps 2. Not going to worry about flex temperature for the moment. And we're going to put in our V speeds. V1 is 121, rotate at 122, and V2 is 126. You grand, lads, totally fine. And now, while we're here, I need to do one of these.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I would love to welcome you aboard our flight. When you find your seat, please be sure to place your larger carry-on items in the overhead bins and smaller items underneath the seat in front of you. Unless you're in a front row, please place all of your items in the overhead bins. If you have any trouble finding a location for your carry-on items, please let a flight attendant know and we would be happy to assist you. If the overhead bin is full, please make sure you close it as a courtesy to other passengers. Please double check that all your items are put away so that the aisle is clear and other passengers can make their way to their seats. If you're in an emergency exit row, please read the exit seating responsibilities in the card in the seat back in front of you. If you're not able to comply with these actions, please let a flight attendant know so that way you can be reseated.
I wonder did it work?
Now's the time to get out any last-minute text messages if you need to, but we ask that once we depart from the gate, you put away any laptops or tablets. Thank you, and welcome aboard.
Lads, I'd just like to say now you're all very welcome aboard now this flight for your Lingus flight number 235 and heading back there now to Dublin. I hope you had a great crack below there now in Glasgow today, and make sure you keep any of the supplies and toys and other things that you bought in memorabilia and the figurines close at hand. Based on the landing, lads, when we got here in the first place, we're expecting a hardy landing once we get back to Dublin. So I invite you now, lads, sit back down now, lads, relax, put your feet up, even though there's not enough room to even cross your legs, and we'll enjoy the flight.
Now, good man, PJ. Right. We're going to start now on our merry way. So disappear that, get that out of the way. And, well, the APU is running. Our APU bleed comes on. Disconnect our ground power. Gadoosh. That's gone. Everything up here is looking good. Seatbelt lights, it's all okay. Floodlights can come off. And, well, our flight planage. Remember that we need to... Next phase. That's all okay. We need to put in our departure and arrival. So, EGBF. We're going to be departing here from runway 23. And what was our SID? The Norb 1 Hotel, wasn't it? The Norb 1 Hotel, yes. In you go. Insert. We're going to scroll down, lads. We're going to scroll down now, and we're going to go down to Dublin. Come here to me. Echo India Delta Whiskey, and we're going to do our arrival into Dublin. We're looking for an ILS onto runway 28 left. And our arrival, lads, now, lads, is going to be on. It's on the NIMAC, or the NEMA 2 X-ray. NEMA 2 X-ray. NEMA 2 X-ray. Click. No visual approach, that's okay. Into that. That looks good to me. Look at our flight plan, and now we'll start getting rid of any of the discos. So, where are you? Oh, there's 2 Norbos. Yeah, that'll upset it. TRN, Grand, Gervig, NIMAT, Lapmo, DCell, Lapmo, and Dublin. Sweet. So our little trick that we did earlier on, press and hold the right Alt key. Click on this. The screen will pop out. We're going to go to plan mode. And we'll go to our flight plan here again. Let's see, all the way back to start. Hang on, that looks a bit freaking odd. Is that the missed approach going in? It looks like Lapmo isn't connected to Maxiv. But it must be. Interesting. Okay, flight plan looks good. Gotta go to ARC mode. And back up to our departure.
We're ready to go when you are.
Good woman yourself, Teresa. You're playing a stormer back there. Now let's see.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard Flight 235 with service to Dublin. Our flight time will be roughly 37 minutes. Please note the cabin door is now closed. We ask that you make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your larger devices are now shut down and stowed. If you have not already, please fasten your seatbelt and verify it is low and tight across your lap.
Constantinos, welcome in.
Must be in the full upright and locked position for departure. Cabin crew, prepare doors for departure, cross-check, verify straps, and stand by for all call. Flight attendants, please prepare cabin for departure and cross-check.
Okay, we're getting ready to go here now, lads. There's no messing now, right, so cabin doors are closed. 6,000 was punched in. Speed won't be managed. I don't know why that reset. Go back up there, you divot. Let's say 190. Now remember, we can't go above 6,000 feet until we get past the Norbev. So, that's looking good to me. All is looking well. Onto this page here. APU is running. All that looks good to me. Right, time for pushback. So bring that down a smidgen. Slower the speed. Onto right and start. There we go. Murph, you have 2 lap modes. Have I though?
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the flight attendants for a safety demonstration. When the seatbelt light is fastened, please make sure that your seatbelts are fastened low and tight across your lap. To fasten, insert the metal fittings into one another and tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle.
Now we're talking. Mind yourself.
Fasten throughout the entire flight as we may experience unexpected turbulence. There are several emergency exits on this aircraft. Please take a few moments.
She's starting up. Muse is getting a pushback as well. It's a straight back departure.
Will guide you towards the exit. In the event that the cabin loses pressure, an oxygen mask will drop right in front of you. To start the flow of oxygen, pull the mask towards you. Place it firmly over your nose and mouth and secure the elastic band behind your head. Tighten the straps if necessary and breathe normally. Although the bag does not inflate, oxygen is flowing to the mask. If you are traveling with a child or someone who requires assistance, secure your mask first and then assist others. Keep your mask on until a member of the crew advises you it's safe to remove it.
Yeah, that fixed the plan, guys.
The pilot decides
well
to
spotted.
take us for a swim. A fashionable life vest is
Scott
located
Flanagan,
in a pouch
thanks a
under
million.
your seat or between the armrests. When instructed to do so, open the plastic pouch and remove the vest. Slip it over your head. Wrap the straps around your waist and buckle at the front. Pull the strap to tighten. To inflate the vest, pull firmly on the red cord only when exiting the aircraft. If your life vest does not inflate automatically, blow into the mouthpieces for manual inflation. Each vest is equipped with a whistle and light. If necessary, your seat cushion can be used as a secondary flotation device.
Ailerons into wind, good to see it.
Items. Make sure your seatbelts are fastened and seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position. We remind you that this is a non-smoking flight. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying the smoke detectors located in the lavatories is prohibited by law. All of this information and more can be found in the
barking dogs
located in the seat back in front of you. We suggest reading this and let us know if you have any questions. Thank you for flying with us, and we hope you enjoy your flight.
Actually, you're only deadly, Teresa. Well done now, huh? We'll keep getting this bit of a pushback. And remember now, lads, are going to blast off from runway 23. Ailerons, great to see you, my guy. Now, let's look at this here for a minute. Shigunk. So runway 23, it's a long taxi, so we need to go up November, Golf, Delta, or we can go all the way through Golf up on Alpha. That's what we'll do. So it's going to be November, Golf, Alpha. That's what we're doing. Go ahead and stop the pushback. Activate the parking brake. Engines are now started. We're good to go. Onto normal. We can do our flight controls test. Full forward. Full back. Full left. Full right. Rudder right. Rudder left. Cool. Right. Okay. So at this stage, APU can come off. Strobes are now on. Taxi light comes on. Seatbelts and all that jazz are on. That's looking good to me. Is that? They're on. That's off. Grand. Right, next thing is going to be our flaps and slats. Set to 2. Ground spoilers are armed. Go ahead and put on our transponder. Right. Climb, nav. Yeah, that looks all good to me. So we're going to go takeoff configuration. Auto brake needs to be set to max, which it is. Cabin needs to be checked. Takeoff configuration is normal. Go ahead and turn on our weather system as well. Alright! We're good to go. Parking brake coming off. Let's get moving.
We're ready for departure.
I should hope so. We're leaving. Right, we're doing well. Lads, thanks so much, by the way, for joining me here tonight. We don't usually be on YouTube for live streams. Everything's over on Twitch. But for this airliner stuff, thank you. For the airliner stuff, we're going to be doing this on YouTube for the foreseeable. And again, like, I'm not... this is what I do. This is how I manage. I'm expecting to learn a lot of stuff from you guys as well. Because, well, I need to. And this is kind of just getting me kind of preparing, if you like, for the incoming airliners into Microsoft Flight Simulator, most notably the PMDG and also the other Phoenix and the INI stuff as well, and the MD82. Have y'all seen the new Airbus Tiller? I didn't see it. I've heard about it though. Did is that the one that V1 had? I think it was. Carl Dublin is there. I see a Muse fan. So we're going to taxi all the way on Golf and then left turn onto Alpha and then onto the Active. So far so good. There's Muse. Sure, only looking mighty Muse fan. Jesus, we have 75 likes. Guys, thanks very much. That's mad, isn't it? 75. Who'd have thought? And it's going to be a nighttime arrival into Dublin. This could be just very fancy. How did you make Microsoft Flight Sim not crash? I shook my fist at it. It crashed at me 4 times earlier on. And my screen flickers. So there's strange things happening. Oh, and I may have bought a new computer as well. Say nothing now. I'm giving you priority. Ah, yes. Jesus, the noise of that. You're looking mighty, lads. You're looking mighty now. Hey, we got a Frontier plane there. Look at that. That's weird. You're a long way from home. So remember our speed restriction and altitude restriction. What are constraints on the screen here as well? The FlybyWire A32NX is its class. It really, really is. And they're still adding more things to it. Am I showing as a Frontier for you? Yeah, Gibbo, yeah. There's a fire truck that we're going to go very, very close to. Look at you with all your fancy lights, huh? Are you actually in a Frontier, Gibbo, or are you using that can't be mentioned? I've got a Ryanair, says the Wolf. Nice. I'm looking forward now to the 737 from PMDG. I'm really looking forward to it. Can't wait to bring that for a spin here now in Microsoft Flight Sim. You're in an Aer Lingus livery? That's mad. But then again, my libraries are probably all messed up because of the AIG. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm using Iveo things as well. Maybe he's using that St. Murph livery. I'm still not going to forgive you over that. The big palatial head on Murph. His divils. Oh, Ninjas in a Hawk. Nice. What can't be mentioned? They made delivery with my mug on the side of it. Me face. It's horrible. It's frightening. It's terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. But sure, look, what can you do? Do you know what I mean? Could have been worse, lads. Could have been worse. So yeah, so Thursday nights are going to be an airline night. What do you think? Is this a good idea or a bad idea? And I'm hoping at the end of it, you're going to teach me. Do you know what I mean? We'll be doing all sorts of crazy stuff. So I'm gonna stick to the areas that I know for a little bit until I'm more comfortable. Because there's an event coming up in April across the pond. We might just be mad enough to give that a bash. You know? It was Gibbo that made it. Nothing to do with me at all. Sure. Gabriel Dillon likes the idea. Well, that's it then. Right, lads, whenever you're ready, you're creating a bit of a backlog now. We'll have to be talking to our peoples. Now, is everything set up the way it is? Walking, talking and squawking, yes. Flaps, park and brake, cockpit doors locked. Yes, yes, yes. All good. Gary McCarthy likes as well. Well, many thanks, dude. That's Gibbo there, lads, in the frontier. Oh, there's two frontiers. Oh, wait, hang on. Hashtag, we don't matter. CTP is awesome, Murph. Done it twice and totally enjoyed it. Ooh, across the pond. Nice. Are you come to Indiana? Jeffrey. Well, I can't wait to do some of the US flights. I'm thinking Mrs. Two-Tone's going to have to start booking slots. Yeah, time for me, yeah? There's one eye. There goes Gibbo. He's airborne. Yup the yard, Gibbo. Godspeed. A380 just landing. Oh, you're an AIG, are you? Nice. Okay, so we're going to taxi him into position and hold. Runway lights on. Takeoff lights on. Good. Yeah, I really like AIG is the greatest pain to install, but once it's in there, it's fantastic. It adds so much to your sim. Now, Renoi, you may go ahead because I'm going to clip your wing. No, you're going to clip my wing. What are you flying, Renoi? Hey, Man C is here as well. Nice. Whoop, don't mind me. Brilliant. Okay, so quick check before we go. Walking, talking, squawking, lights, ready. Let's be having you. So, power coming in. And toga. Isn't that the dogs, isn't it? 100. V1. Rotate. Positive rate of climb indicating gear up. Watch your speed, Murph. Flaps 1. Let's go for 200 knots. Go ahead and the autopilot. Ah, wrong button. Oopsie daisy. I'm at 2,200 feet. Speed is good. Slots in. All right. Beautiful. But nice too, look. Yeah. Okay, so 200 knots. We're continuing on our little planation here. You see where our left turn is? We got to keep the speed low and altitude low at normal. Then we can up the yard. Gabriel Little says throttles to MCT. Climb profile. We can keep it in MCT, but I wanted to keep that speed. Just had a Skylarky A320 FCU delivered today. Oh, nice! Did you arm the auto throttle or did it happen automatically? It should be automatic. You'll see the auto throttle light up here. It should come on automatically. So we're coming up on 6,000. Go ahead and level this off a little bit. So we got to stay at 6,000 feet until we get past Norbo. So we're just going to cruise nicely here. Speed is nice and slow. We don't need to build it. I'll just take our time. There's the lads. There's Kozaki over there. It's the sounds though, lads. Isn't it beautiful? Disappear me here for a sec.
We'll be heading back into Dublin there now. The last bus lands number 27 into Lingus. We'll be leaving the airport at about 11 o'clock.
You can just have so much fun with that. That's ridiculous. Formal alarm is there. Nice. Bit of tunage. It didn't really load in the scenery though.
Traffic.
Look at the state of that. Right, so where are we? We're over here. What were we doing? Oh yeah, we were doing flying. Yes. So Norbo. Go standard. And once we get past Norbo, we're going to give it socks, lads. Where's... Elbow, grand, okay. Up the yard now. Climb her up now, fairly lively, lads. Speed restriction up to 250. We're allowed up to TRN. Love the Shamrock. Yeah, it's a beaut, isn't it? Sup a coffee down now, it's the shot now. So climbing nicely. It's fierce nice, isn't it? Smart flies, Aer Lingus. It's Michel Higgins. Out on a hain. Jesus, the weather changed dramatically there. Look at the state of this. Many thanks, Wheels, for the phone and the sub. Begara Begancha. Oh, we played that one. Surely I have another one here somewhere. Oh, so we're in Scotland, lads. Hang on a second. Up the yard. Och, aye. So we're using live weather. Scott Voigt in the chat. Good to see you, Scott. Soaring AJ, many thanks for joining the flying circus. Pilot in command, God almighty Dougal. It's just so hot right now. Right, anyway, what's the story? How are you, Scott? And Soaring AJ, thank you very much indeed. Cheers. Ah, right. So we're climbing up to 18,000. What's our, what was our top of climb? 18,000. We stay at 18,000, guys. That's odd. Soaring AJ, many thanks, dude. It's great to see you. Some awesome shots here. Yeah, it's pretty. Although the ortho imagery is not loading, which is weird. Right, bring that speed up. We've no more speed restrictions. 280 knots, please. Go. You forgot to turn off your landing lights, Murphy. A big age at you. Jesus, we can take you nowhere. So we're in the cruise phase. We're tipping away nicely. We'll do a quick announcement to the folks. And we'll tell them there's something interesting going on out of the window.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, this is your captain speaking. Yes. Window, we're currently actually flying over something pretty interesting this evening.
We're flying over something interesting, he says. SimBrief gave me 24,000. Yeah, it doesn't seem right we're down this low, does it? Yeah. It's kind of cool because we're going to go through some cloudage, man. This altitude does not seem right, but sure, listen, we'll keep it there. Oh yeah, we have, the bot kind of works here. It's a Streamlabs one, but yeah. Gibbo, are you in the 8K Aer Lingus one? I wonder, is that why you're coming up as a Frontier? More sheep. Yeah, there was a pair of them. The screen's there a little bit dark. Yeah, you're in the 8K one. I can't remember if I had it installed. But sure, look it. It'd be grand. So we're going to be doing a dusk kind of arrival into Dublin. What time of day is it? It could be night time by the time we get down. Pixar and mods chat. Oh yeah. Oh, look at that. Oh, I might grab that one. That looks nicer. So who's here with us? We have FitterF, we have Ninja. Formal Alarm is up there, looking good. And we have Carl Dublin, Gibbo Ireland, Mad C, Flying Turtle, The Wolf, Muse Fan, and Renoy. Looking good, guys. I need to figure out why my screen is flickering as well. And for those of you who have, you know, rambled over from Twitch, what's the old audio and visuals like? In comparison? Same? Better? Worser? I don't know. Nobody knows. 82 likes, guys. Thanks a million. Cheers, you're brilliant. Great bunch of lads now. Great bunch of lads below. Redman says the same. 50-50 says the Wolf. Scott says not as good. About the same. You still got a mallet head. Thanks, Gibbo. One Murphy in your big mallet head. Yeah, sure. And how does that make you feel, caller? The woman from telling you about the dog who could walk itself. Sure. Audio and video looks just as good. Oh, nice. Cool, okay. Look at the views, lads. This is bananas looking, isn't it? We'll do a bit of, actually, we might as well. Do you know what I mean? Apart from the flickering, yeah, I need to figure out what's causing that. Look at the state of it though. How many CTDs? Not a single one, Scott! I don't know how, but we got through it. Gibbon says, Murph, will you do a VATsim on a future stream? Yeah, 100%. So when it comes to VATsim, it's just a matter of getting the lingo right. You know, you need a little bit of confidence. Once you know what to say, it's relatively easy. If you pick a route that you know, that you've flown a couple of times offline, it's always easy to jump on in. So yeah, so like when you're online at VATsim, once you're comfortable with the route that you're flying and you kind of know roughly what to expect, it's only a matter of the hardest part to online flying. The hardest part is the beginning. It's getting your clearance, and if you stick by craft, could we do? I need to do like a thing, a graphic, right? Craft, CRAFT. Write it down that way, CRAFT. Hang on, we surely we can do a thing. Word to your cousin. Right, so let's see. Way out of that, your privacy, your choice. Gee, thanks, Microsoft. Very kind of you. Right, so now let's see if we can do one of these. So if we say craft, right? So it's going to be like a giant C. So we have C or AFT. If everyone is to do that to the Y's, yeah. So you have C or AFT, right? So you have craft. So C is for clearance. We need clearance, Clarence. R is for route. A is for altitude. F is for frequency. And T is for transponder. Right, so clearance is very simple. So you'd call up the ground or whoever the ATC, whatever layer is covered, yeah? So the higher layer covers the bottom. So if you have ground, they cover from ground down. If you have approach, they cover tower, ground. You know, if you have control or center, they cover approach, tower. It's a tiered system, right? Anyway, your clearance. So let's say, for example, we are, we're Shamrock 235. So we call up ATC. And we say Dublin ground, Shamrock 235 is an Airbus A320 on stand 402, or whatever your stand is, with information X-ray, or information Bravo or Charlie, or whatever the METAR information is. Request clearance. And you might say, request clearance to Glasgow or to Rome or whatever. Or you might even say request clearance via the Rotev 1. Like when you file your flight plan, they get it. They can see your entire flight plan. Alright, so they know what to expect. The only reason that might change is if there's other traffic or the weather is changing. So they'll tell you, I want you to go this direction. So your clearance, I want clearance. Next up is going to be your route. Where are you going and what way you want to do it. They'll tell you. So your route is going to be as filed or via the SID or fly runway heading. Climb to 6,000, expect flight level 10,000, 10 minutes after departure. That's when you start hearing these other things. Your altitude, that's where that's included. Your frequency, they'll say contact ground on whatever the frequency is, or contact tower. And then your transponder, your code. Alright? See, you take care. Information, Bubba. Scott, brilliant. So your clearance, how it would sound is this. Dublin ground, Shamrock 235 is an A320 on stand 402. Information Bravo, request clearance. Shamrock 235, Dublin ground, cleared to, or you were cleared to wherever it is, cleared to Glasgow, or cleared as filed via whatever departure, or climb via the SID. Transition altitude 6,000, expect 10,000, 10,000, 10 minutes after departure. Contact tower on 118.6, or you be handed over to approach or control or whatever it is. They'll tell you who you're, once you get airborne, they're going to tell you who you need to be talking to. That's your airborne frequency. That's what they're giving you there. And then your transponder is your squawk code. Murph, open for flight, there's a craft list in there. Oh, is there? Yeah, I wasn't using for flight, I said I wouldn't use it tonight. But craft anyway, lads, just write down craft. If you get that bit right, you're golden. It changes slightly depending if you're flying in the US or if you're flying in Ireland. Sorry, in Europe, right? NIMAT, 5 nautical miles. Right, so we need to descend here, lads. Jeez, that was quick. Down to 8,000. So speed, come back. Bring it back to about 220. Slow it down now, lads. Slow it down. And we're going to be descending down to flight level 080. So just let our speed drop off once we get to NIMAT. 230 and then down to 8,000. If you're flying in America or in North America, you don't need to request a push and start. If you're in Europe, you do. They kind of hold your hand a bit more, you know. It'd be so funny if you answered them in a Pat Short or an Arnie accent. I did it before. They didn't like it one bit. I realised Shamrock 235 now. I have information Zulu, and I'd like a bit of clearance there now, Les. I heading over to Glasgow for the weekend, you know. And thanks very much. Yeah, no, they wouldn't be impressed, give up. We'd have to fly like Australian or Austrian Air, you know. That could be hilarious. We're on the ground in this Airbus A320. We need clearance now. We need to go. So speed is looking good. We're now going to descent. (1800 feet per minute). Yeah, that flickering. I need to figure out what's causing that. So we're about 15, 20 minutes away from our destination. Most big airports you have to call for push if they have ramp control. Oh yeah, so like you can have ramp, ground, then tower, departure, approach, loads of different frequencies. There's a whole top-down thing. We do have, go to the Airbus, Scott Voigt, who is a real-world ATC controller, retired, and ailerons into wind, who's currently working on his PPL. Both are highly experienced when it comes to the real-world ATC. So if you guys have any questions, be sure to join us over on our Discord, and well, they help. They're a great bunch of lads. Great bunch of lads. But definitely, if you guys are interested, if you want to start, you know, dipping your toes into VATsim, I'd be more than happy to give you a shout. Or if that's a US clearance, not European. Which one? Huh? I'm lost now. It's in Dubuque. It's black and white in Dubuque. So tomorrow night, Friday, we're back on Twitch. Is that the new PC Murph? No, it's not. I didn't know. Shh. No. Not yet. Not yet. Right, what's that speed? Want to keep it at 220? Bit of drag there, please. Yeah, that flickering, it's annoying. I think it's Pack X doing it, or PAX doing it. But sure, listen, we'll be grand. Yeah, like when it comes to ATC, if you guys want to give it a shot, practice. You gotta practice. And like, sign up to VATsim, it's free. Whoa, that's like wind shear. See that? You sign up to VATsim, there's a couple of tutorials you gotta do. You gotta do a bit of reading. But it's straightforward. Just spend a bit of time on it. And it's grand. But you see, no, Scott, there's a restriction here. There's a there's a speed restriction here of 230 knots, maximum 230 knots, according to the chart, anyway. An AU departure and Dublin departure, Speedbird 123, and A320 stand 2. Request IFR departure to Newcastle with information. Bravo. Yeah. That's pretty much spot on, ailerons. But sure, you do VATsim all the time. Have you tried, have you done Pilot Edge? Man alive. I have to wait here now for a minute.
Please return to your seat as the seatbelt sign is now on.
Hurrah.
Hey, good morning.
Hey Mike, many thanks for the sub. So on the NIMAX, or the NIMA 2X arrival. And at Carav, we have a speed...
our final descent into Dublin. Flight attendants will be passing through the cabin to collect any trash one final time. Please ensure tray tables are stowed and seats are in the full upright position.
So we have a speed restriction, maximum 230 knots coming in here.
Under the seat in front of you. Please complete all Wi-Fi related tasks and stow any large...
VATsim is free. And it's very good. Like, it's amazing. Jeez, it's a turn here. It's amazing when it comes to VATsim, right? It's amazing just listening in. Hey, Flaming One is in the Phoenix. Oh no, it's Flaming Phoenix. Never mind. VATsim, just even if you load in and you just do pattern work, but you're listening to how people are speaking, it's fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. Let's make this a little bit darker. We want it nighttime. There we go, Julia. In there, you Betsy. Now we're thrashing. Look at the state of this. Yes. Right, there's 8,000. What's your speed, Murph? Kogax. Then it'd be decel, and then it's Lapmo, all the way down to 180 knots. And it's from here we're going to stick it on approach mode. I know a few edgy pilots. I like watching controllers on VATsim that stream. Follow the Greens is good, doing Heathrow. Oh yeah. London controller is my favourite. I don't know how Jamie does it. We don't get expected altitude after X minutes here. Ah. There you are. That'll tell you. That'll tell you. Do you know what I mean? This guy needs work. Jeez, it's hard to see. Hey, Conti! Yes, we're on the tubes today. Literally on the tubes, on the YouTube and the tube liner. We're here in an A320. Aer Lingus, Shamrock. And we're about to do our final arrival into Dublin. Good to see you, Conti. Hope you're well. Did you get your power back? Jesus, you poor old devil. London controller is good, but he wears me out with the energy. Oh, it's brilliant though, isn't it? I've recently got into VATsim and really enjoy it. The Irish controllers are very nice and patient. They've given me a lot of confidence. Yeah, it's brilliant, yeah. Oh no, Gibbo, I'm telling you, we'll give it a shot. And we can do like your controls, the joint controls. You only got your power back today? Jeez. Are you streaming later? First day of electricity, I'm streaming. It'll be grand. Absolutely grand. Right, quick check, y'all. Decel now. Lap mode down to 180. So we have decel. There we go. Approach mode. You're going to try? Nice. I don't think I'm smart enough to do this stuff. Jeffrey, if I can do it, and I am the greatest Aegis in the land, right? I'm telling you. If I can do it, you can do it. It just takes a bit of time. But sure, we'll get there. Do you know what I mean? Now, I absolutely battered the runway the last time round, lads, so we'll have to behave ourselves now a bit. Do you know what I mean? Off standard. Everyone says, I used Pilot Edge Murph when I first started online, as VATsim wasn't that great back then and only just getting, or it was only just started out. I really enjoyed it, but I was very green. That was a way you were going to learn. Pilot Edge is definitely it's a more, I won't say serious, but like they're more real world proceduralized. It'd be great to have VATsim kind of with world coverage. That'd be amazing. Or Pilot Edge with world coverage. Could you imagine it? But VATsim have come really, really strong in the last while. I did get reported for busting a speed restriction. I blasted through like a class Charlie airspace. Hey, so you have violated. Oh crap! Turn off the internet. Don't let them see me. There's nothing worse. Or the first time you press the go live, you know, or to talk. This is November 235. And then you have accents to deal with. Dan. What do you say? Dan. What the hell's he saying? You need Dan. What is he? Ident? Oh yeah, that's a button I need to press. Ident. Who says that? It's ident. Sound out, man. Do you know? But anyway. Approach mode engaged. 6,500 of the feet. My landing light should have been on ages ago. I suck at being a simulated pilot. That's it. There's only one thing us simulated pilots need to do, and that's control the landing lights at 10,000 feet. Sure, listen. Slats 1, please. There'd be the localizer at Lapmo. Laps 2. Oh, mind the speed. That was lucky. Now, see, can we do a... Can Dublin do a category 3? I think it can. You are talking about accents? Scott.
Alliance Airport information, Bubba. Recorded when the big hand was on the 12 and the little hand was on the 3 in the afternoon. Temporary flight restrictions in effect due to the NASCAR race. Y'all stay well east of the grandstand as some of the spectators may be drinking and may be packing. The winds are from Laredo at about as fast as you and your new girlfriend can run from a bar if somebody's chasing you to get his wife back. The sky's clear except for all the smoke. What the hell are those people doing out there in the parking lot in their RVs? IFR arrivals expect visual runway to the south is in use. Makes it an easy straight in for you Okies. Everybody from South Texas is already here. All arrivals of skinny white business jets coming here for business. Make sure to stay well away from the grandstand as you look just like some waterfowl that's in season right now. Put 2 Nainer .76 into the little window on the thing that tells you how high up you are. And make sure to tell us when you first talk to us that you have information Bubba.
Information Bubba. That's the shot. Right, lads, we're getting close now. This is looking good. Altitude in around 3,000. Kind of hard to see. Really, Murph? It's hard to see. It's night time. There's Dublin! Look at the state of you! We're on the glide slope. Speed managed. We're looking good here now, lads. Berto, pretty cool, isn't it? Information, Bubba. Run rate, or was it? But tuniner.
2,500.
2,500. Here we go, lads. We're a little bit far out. Far out, man. Jeez, look at the speed it wants to bring us down to. We're 6 miles out. Look at this. Look at this for beauty. Oh, bit of rain here, lads, as well. Go on, Dublin, with your weather. Up the yard. Jesus, this is nice, isn't it? On the glide slope, we're looking good. That speed is shocking low, isn't it? Will she spool up? She will. 120 knots only, Jesus. Right, landing gear. Down you go, you big Jessie. Flaps full. Cabin crew has been alerted to the situation. Jesus, I'm after knocking down something. Disappear me. Let's look at the approach. Look at the state of it. Right, continue on. Speed is good. We're on the outer marker. Category 3 dual landing. Glide slope and a localizer has been established. We shall continue. Landing light is on and we should have a runway turn on. Yeah, all is looking good. All is well in the realm. How are you, Dublin? Look at the state of it, lads. Gabriel says, I've learned a lot tonight. Main thing is, don't even try it.
1,000.
1,000. Stabilized. Continue. Now, I'll see will it do a full auto land, because it should be able to flare itself. Then again, I don't know. I might just do this myself. Autopilot off, my airplane. Right, Murph, hand fly it in. Go on, you divil, you.
500.
500, a little below, Murph. Up the yard. There we go.
400.
Mr. Marco, we just flew. Put on the kettle, the virtual kettle.
300.
300. Continue.
200. 100.
A little bit right of centre.
50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 5.
Down you get, you devil you. Reverses out, spoilers out. Diesel. 60 knots. Reverses stowed. Speed brake in. Flaps up. Welcome to Dublin. That was tasty now, wasn't it? Jesus, wasn't it awful tasty, huh? Didn't we make up for the mishap we had back in
Ladies
Glasgow?
and gentlemen, welcome to Dublin. The local time is 6:40 p.m. and it's currently about 5 degrees Celsius. You can now use your mobile devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to use caution when opening the overhead bins as
Like
items
a
may have
glove.
been taken during the flight. If this is your final destination, we thank you for flying with us. If you're making a connection, we encourage you to check your itinerary to ensure a smooth continuation of your journey.
Alright. I was told to go around playing on the runway. Uh-oh. She's not a Cork lassie. No, that's Teresa. Teresa Green. And our co-pilot is Philip. Philip Eno. The virtual kettle is on. Nice. So you're all very welcome to Dublin. Jason, lads, wait till we start doing kind of mad things like going into Innsbruck. You know, and Navan. Do you know? Tasty. I used to go out with Teresa Green. Did you? Right, what's the outspeed here, Murph? Not going to bother with the APU. We're pretty much flying, or we're finished flying now for tonight. Once we get onto the gate, or the stand, 402 is what I'm looking for. So many people here. Guys, did you enjoy flying tonight? It was fun, wasn't it? We learned so many things that were completely inaccurate and just not correct at all. Greta says, do more YouTube. I will. Wing view. Ah, yes. There we go. Look at the state of that. How do you know where to taxi? Visual circle to land Innsbruck runway 08. Very special arrival. Stuart, we'll have to try it. I'll get you to jump on with me some night. You know what I'm saying? You'll have to teach me the way. I've flown Innsbruck on X-Plane in the Zebo mod. Spectacular arrival. It's weird, right? Because you have all these weird texture flickerings here in Dublin. MK need to figure this one out. Like, it's not great. As the Dublin scenery goes, it's not great. Aerosoft used to have a brilliant one. It was way more accurate. Now, the good news is Boundless, who are part of, well, they work with Builds and Scenes. They're also working on a Dublin airport. It's going to be released on X-Plane first, I think. Mr. Marco says, the old workplace. Oh, nice. Link 4. There's Gibbo parked up. Jeez, I hope you're not in my spot, Gibbo. Leave room for me, will you? YouTube for the win. MK Dublin is giving me absolute stutterfest. Yeah, Muse, I'm the same, man. It's I don't know, it needs, like, look at it, you know what I mean? Look at the state of it. It's alright when you zoom in, but even at that, it's only kind of, you know, it's not great now. Did they leave me a gap, the feckers, did they? That's alright, lads, yeah, I'll squeeze in there beside you now, it'll be alright. We'll meet you at the bar. What's the name of the bar in Dublin Airport? The Sky Lounge, is it? Can I have a panini, please? Yes, yes. That'll be €27. What? Dublin Airport. Always better value. We can I could squeeze in there, but I've no gate. I'll go to the far side to Gibbo there. Do you do flights on Twitch? I do. Twitch is the home of our general aviation flyage. There's stands on my starboard side. That's okay. We'll throw it in here now, hey. Jesus, we're after parking that now like a dog having a leak. God almighty. Like, in you go, you big Jesse. Easy now. Easy now. Oh, we can go forward a bit more, Murph. A little something. Almost, almost. Like that. Okay, park brake coming on. Thank you. Jump up over yonder. External power is available. Thank you. We can go ahead and kill the engines. Transponders off. Weather radar off. Connect to some ground equipment. Zoom me on. Jetway, please. Come back to me. The baggage man can. I should get the caterers in for good measure as well. Beacon light to stay on. Wing light. That looks good to me. Welcome to Dublin. It's all nice and quiet down here. Where's me baggage man? The baggage man can. Well, I never. Right, lads, we'll just have to say that the bags will have to stay on the aircraft now. You'll get them back now, lads, in due time now at the end of the flight. Do you know? Yeah, it's the reflections they have here. Look, they're crap. Well, look at that. Sort it out, man. MK. They're on strike again. The baggage strike, yeah. The great baggage strike of 62. Don't take the gate away. No, come back. It's freaking out, man. It doesn't know what to be doing. Yes, 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 yes. Let them out now for the crack. So, friends, there we have it. Did you have fun? Did you enjoy yourselves? Did we learn us something or do us something? Hey, look, we actually arrived early. So, end flight. Look at the state of this. 96%. Landing rate 219 feet again. I wish they would have given us some food. Ah, sure, listen. I'm totally telling my friends about this airline. That was a quick flight. Yes, we had some interesting scenery on the flight. Yes, yes, yes. Well done, everyone. Go ahead and save that. Thank you very much for playing. Dublin is also on my bucket list to visit one day. Berto, dude, 100%. Think we lost a couple of it's fine. No, they just fell out. It'd be grand. Nothing to worry about here at all, lads. You know what I mean? Now let's. Oh look at that for. Oh yes. Now hang on. Just to make it look all nice, like. Dublin at night time, lads. Do you know? Well, anywhere at night time. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so we have a weird looking front here, but sure, listen, it's all right. We'll get over it. We'll get over it. And well, this is us situated on stand 402. And I want to thank everyone for joining me here tonight. It was something definitely different. And it's something that I'd like to continue on a Thursday night doing the airliner stuff. We'll start with the fly-by-wire. Then as the new airlines get released for Microsoft Flight Sim, we're definitely going to check them out and try and learn them as much as we can. And introduce a bit of VATsim with the help of our good friend Scott and indeed Stuart as well. So, that is it from me, my friends. Thank you so very, very much indeed. Loads of subscribers, loads of donations tonight. These are bananas. And so many likes as well. Yeah, we'll do the CRJ and the DC6, 100%. So, lads, thanks a million. It's been an absolute pleasure getting to spend time with you this evening. We're back on Twitch tomorrow night. We're going to be flying some general aviation aircraft. We're going to check out the new Coronado Staggerwing. We're flying in Madagascar. Madagascar, that's the one. Madagascar. Ooh, aye. So that's what we're doing tomorrow night. 2000 Zulu time over on twitch.tv/2TonMurphy. Until then, thank you all so very much and have a great evening.